From a couple of years on, things are real horrible here in New York, all over.
You're dealing with a lot of people that are maniacs
We're
today.
dealing with an individual who's very basic, who only knows two things: rip off or be ripped off.
Many of those who make good by being bad are nowhere to be seen these days.
I'd be afraid. Of course I'd be afraid. He's a sick guy. He'd kill anytime.
Yeah, but listen.
There isn't anything on earth that I will hide from or back up from.
People seem not to understand the close relationship between organized crime and street crime. And certainly in dealing with street crime in his area or any other kind of crime, the uniform patrol.
Presenzano, shot 4 times, his throat cut. Presenzano was allegedly connected.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? What is going on, people? Let me see who's up in the chat. If this is the first time you're joining my channel, my name is Brett, and you are watching NYC Crime Spot. I'm the big brains behind the operation here. So I use brains very lightly. Manny Grossman, my man. Everybody go over to Manny Grossman's channel. Where's your wrench at? Good question, Manny. I'll hit you up with a wrench. I don't know if I can do it here, but I will. Another fat bald Italian. I don't know if you're here. OG Ruby, what is going on? It's the jacket. I hope you're feeling good, my man. Bigfoot Turkey says, Jeff Nadu creeps me out. Why is that, Bigfoot Turkey? That's weird. Roro G. Thank you, Roro G, for sending me this hat as a gift. This is from Ross Brodar and Bill Sharp's Dominic Montiglio. This is some of his art. That's right. I got a rat's art on my hat. What are you going to do about it? Moving right along. Roro, you are the best. We love you. Thank you so much. A lot of people love Roro and Ruby. They're mods in a number of chats, and they are some of the best in the business. Carmine S., what is going on? Love the avatar. Edward Everett, what is going on? Pete D., my man, what's going on? David Cameron. Brooklyn Johnny, what is going on? Bruno 67. A lot of people coming in. Greg, what's up, man? Nice talking to you on Instagram today. Set it off. Yeah, we're going to set it off. We're going to have fun. Colt Walker 718. What's up, my man? 718, Queens or Brooklyn? Ro, you dress these guys too? Yeah. She's dressing us too. Bruno 67. What's going on? Corruption Connection, my man. What is popping? How are you doing, sir? Everybody follow Corruption Connection too. Roro always drops the links. So what are we going to talk about today? Well, you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, I generally don't do shows such as this. I kind of stay out of it. I watch and I get entertainment out of it. But this is just too funny not to talk about. And if this works out well, maybe I'll continue to have these fun shows. We call them fun. You know, I'm not getting involved in the drama, but I could speak about the stuff. A bunch of other people do. They build platforms on it. I already have a platform, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. And as you guys know, when I do these live streams, I always bring the heat. I always bring you the photos, the videos, the edits. I always bring the heat. And tonight I'm going to be doing the same thing. We're going to have a lot of fun. So how's every? Oh, Michelle, what's going on? Always great to see you, Michelle. Let's see how many people are in here right now. And then we will get down to it. About 60 people. Come on, guys. Well, hit the like. I'm sure other people will come in here in a little bit. Let's look at the banner. Jeff Nadu says he's going to be joining us in the 7 o'clock hour. You guys can see that at the bottom. Jeff Nadu of the Sit Down with Jeff Nadu podcast joins us in the 7 o'clock hour, so hang out for that. Bigfoot Turkey. A lot of what we're going to be speaking about, of course, has to do with Jeff Nadu and some of the things that have been going on with Sammy the Bulgarano. G78, my man in Ireland, who's better than you, buddy? Yeah, so a lot of what we're going to be talking about is with Jeff Nadu, of course, and what is going on with him and Sammy the Bull. And like I said, I generally don't speak on this stuff, but this is just too funny. Seems that a lot of the mob drama are dying out. Some of these guys start some drama to kick starting up. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's possible. Sammy has drama with everybody, and that's what I kind of want to talk about too. Sammy's Sammy's YouTube arc, like how he came and how he's kind of almost going. I mean, we'll see. It almost is a, kind of a downhill thing with Sammy. Bigfoot Turkey really doesn't like Nadu. Well, Nadu, as you guys can see on the ticker there, will be here in the 7 o'clock hour. So you could come here and let him know, I guess. Okay. So what exactly are we going to be talking about? What we're going to be talking about is, so this is from Jeff Nadu here. Obviously, many of you here, you're already subbed to his channel. Check out his TikTok as well. Hey, Brian Palladino, my man, Ace of Base. What is going on? So I'm going to play this, and you guys tell me what you think about this.
I'll tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me, because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees, and I'm going to make you suck my dick.
It's always
Don't
gay
fuck
when you
with this
say
kid.
it. Why?
Stop, you shut your fucking mouth. Be a fucking man. You want to be a man? Don't fuck with him. Come and fuck with me. Come. This fucking bum. Yeah. You want to knock girls who are working for me. You want to knock this fucking kid for no fucking reason. You want to knock me, knock me. You want to do something, come down. Knock my brains in. Come on.
Sammy, why are you always so upset with me, man? Why do I get you so pissed off, so triggered? Why, because I speak the truth about you, bro? Come on, man. It's always gay stuff with you, too. Why? Why is it always gay stuff with you? Are the rumors true, Sammy? The Brooklyn rumors, are they true?
So there you have it, folks. And I think what Jeff said about always the gay stuff is pretty funny. That kind of almost is a theme for a few of these older gentlemen. We used to have a guy on YouTube by the name of Danny Trio who became a fraud, but somehow everything that Danny Trio, every insult he gave out was kind of gay. So maybe that's like a thing with some of these older guys. Tatone, my man, what's going on? Craig, my man, what is popping? What's going on, my man? Harlem Romeo, what is going on? Sammy went at Jeff. There you go, yeah. Tatone. This dude looks like 1090 Jake's brother. Okay, I guess that's a Jeff diss. Jeff will be on soon. You guys could, I'm sure he'll be taking your questions. Jeff can be, wow, you guys are really going at Jeff. Jesus Christmas over here. But this is an open forum. Carmine asks, yeah, it is. It is. Nothing about that. It's okay. It's okay, bro. It's okay, bro. Just like Maury Terry, is that right? Is that right? The Son of Sam researcher, the man behind the ultimate evil, the subject of the Netflix documentary, apparently, according to Manny Grossman, was always talking about gay activity. Very interesting. No disrespect. So, as many of you know, when Sammy first came on here, even if you don't like the guy, right? Even if you want to call him a rat, you don't like rats, there's no denying that when he first came on here, the setup of his podcast, the studio, the ambiance, the lighting, everything behind it was a great production. He was working with James Carroll at the time. This guy, James Carroll, he works in film and television. He's been on, what has he done? Oh, 7-5 he worked on. I think he worked on The Night Stalker for Netflix. He's worked on a bunch of things as in different roles, whether it be editor, director, whatever it may be. He's a serious guy in the industry, right? And he was doing this podcast with Sammy, and I believe it was him narrating, and he was the voice that you would hear as far as I'm concerned. And like I said, the production was really good. And even if you don't like the guy, you can't say that shit wasn't good. That, we see Sammy now on these live streams, and it's almost like kind of like this old man, just kind of like, he's got kind of almost like this cult thing that's going on over there where people are kind of just giving him donations to answer their questions, which is fine, whatever. But some of it's like, kicking up the envelope to Sammy. It's a little fucking strange, right? It's a little strange. It gets a little silly. So he's kind of been reduced to that. And he's been also reduced to getting involved in dramas, right? He had a drama with Dominic Cicali. They kind of had an open thing. I guess that came down to where something was going to be platformed or the time that something was going to be, they had an out. And then, Dom was calling him scammy. I still think he doesn't like him. Of course, Mikey Scars is constantly doing something with Sammy, calling him out on this bullshit. So he's kind of went from this guy who had this beautiful production, was telling amazing stories, everything about it was attractive, right, to the eye. And now it's just he is what he is, I guess. Basically everything I said, kind of in and out of dramas, and obviously the Lee Cole situation happened, which that kind of came to him, I suppose, and I guess he responded to that. But that's more drama, of course, because if he never fed into it, I mean, would Lee have done something like that? I mean, I don't know. I can't say for sure. So he's kind of been reduced to these little dramas, and he keeps saying something with Hollywood's going to come out, which it might, but in the meantime, you know, he's what do you say? Not on here, Brad, give you my number. If someone's asking for your number, I don't know what's going on with that. Let me check on this chat. 90 people here. Thanks for joining me. Bigfoot Turkey, Dom Sicali and John Panisi are the YouTube guys with. I like John Panisi's channel. I actually do. Dom Sicali, I don't always watch. I watch him sometimes. He's he's cool, whatever. He takes the questions and everything. John Panisi's funny because some of the things he does are so fucking cringe that it's very entertaining. I find a lot of value in it, in the cringe. I'm a big believer in the cringe. I think Panisi is one of the best at that. For the intelligent people in the room. For the intelligent people in the room. And then he'll always end his video with like a zinger. It'll be like a fucking, like a big zinger, like a, and then it cuts out to the music. So he's thinking about what he's doing. He's definitely thinking about what he's doing, and he's planning out his little hit pieces or whatever you want to call them. So I get a lot of entertainment out of I used to watch him. Yeah. I don't know what happened to him, Brian Palladino. I'm not sure. He seems to be, a lot of people seem to bring him up. Rightly so. I guess he had a big channel and he disappeared. So more power to him. I'm sure he's doing fine. Once Lee got hit, he jumped the curb with his car. The funniest thing about that thing with Lee is that they knocked him, right? And his phone ended up in his back seat, and I guess Lee thought he lost the phone, so he went and got another phone, not knowing that his phone was in the back seat. At least that's according to Lee Cole. So I find that to be pretty funny. Panisi doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. He has a chip in his entire sack. Yeah, I know you probably don't like him, David. I mean, I don't know the guy. I just find him funny. I think he's got a sense of humor in his own right. And then the things that he goes on about the trolls, like he gets all like poetic about what a troll is. Yeah. You guys got to read that. He's a good writer. I think he could actually write. He probably did a lot of writing in prison in his younger years. Chris Archula, my man, what's going on? New avatar? You're like more in the cut now. Before you were like mad close, and now you're like a little too far. You got to find a middle ground, maybe. I'm just fucking with you. Danny Trio and Lee are best friends forever. Tommy Featherstone. Oh, Mickey's nephew. There he is, Tommy Featherstone. I'm in the UK. What time Jeff coming on? Jeff will be coming on in the 7 o'clock hour. So it's 7 o'clock now. So figure from now, maybe around 7:30, something like that. And we're going to be talking more about this with Jeff. I want to get Jeff's opinion on this. And Jeff has actually interviewed Sammy the Bull, so he knows about working with him a little bit. This is by far the best film that does time. Shut up for your interview, my brother RD. Oh, do you know RD Cam Medical? That's awesome. Yeah, RD is a fucking legend. RD is the man. A New York City institution, literally. He'll be remembered long after he's gone. That is for sure. And I'm glad that I got to interview him twice. And I'm going to interview him again soon. I'm going to go see him sometime this spring. I'll go into Manhattan and holla at RD. It's good. Not everybody crazy, right? Not reach out anytime. Easy looking. Thank you, Craig. Yes. Yeah, we're going to talk. I wanted to ask you about something anyway. But yeah, RD. Chatone, $5. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that, brother. You're the man. That you're still willing to donate after donating me like 29 Gunsmoke to Dawn memberships before I finally got my own. Chatone's always good for that. All right. So another thing that happened, and Jeff will talk about it too, is that Jeff, I don't know if he was joking. I don't know if he's joking or not. He challenges Sammy to a a boxing match. He said that maybe he'll call Portnoy and they could have a little rough and rowdy. That would be interesting. Johnny Noodles, Danny Trio writes for a Philly mob page on Facebook. Wonder if they know about him on legal. Yeah, he's a prolific Facebooker. Danny Trio, as many boomers are. Many boomers are still with the Facebook, which is fine. Gen X even too. Gen X is bugging out on Facebook too. I really don't like Facebook. I was on it for a long time. I still have Messenger, but Facebook to me is for a certain type of person that maybe I'm not. I guess I don't know. I don't know. David Price, my man, how are you, buddy? Always great to see you. Gino Piedra, every Sicali video I've seen, the chat is super brutal at him. Yeah, they are a little brutal to him, right? But I think he takes it good. He's like, whatever. It is what it is. You want to say what you want to say it. Manny likes Facebook. Yeah, I still use Messenger, Manny. That's really the only reason I use Facebook, for Messenger and like one or two groups that I'm still in. That's it. Yeah. But overall, I don't personally find too much use. I'm kind of an introvert and a weirdo, so I really don't like to catch up with anybody. So I like to keep it that way. Facebook is for nosy people who'll never post. Yeah, yeah. Hey, what do you guys think about this? I don't know, guys. It might happen. It might happen. We'll see what happens. If not, maybe somebody's child will get down. I told you guys, if I'm going to talk about this stuff, it's still going to get silly. I'm still going to prepare and do stupid shit. Corruption Connection likes it. Johnny Noodles likes it. Greg likes it. Michelle likes it. Craig likes it. Stop the. Hey, Bigfoot, we're trying to have fun, man. We're having fun. It's not that serious. We're having fun. We're having fun. That's all it is. Bigfoot Turkey. Who gets interviewed first? We're having fun, guys. That's what it is. We're having fun. Who gets interviewed first? Joey Tester or Anthony Center? None. None gets interviewed ever. I think that's the best way to answer that question. I don't think they're going to do that. I want to pay Sammy to make a vid talking shit about me. How do I go on about doing that? Well, there's a couple of different ways, Manny. You could attack him yourself relentlessly. That's one way. It might take you a while to build up an audience in his world, in the mob world. But if you make videos aimed at him, and then maybe if you throw him a couple of super chats in the lives, like you throw him $5, Manny, and you say you suck, follow Manny Grossman, that might work. Make you suck my D. Yeah. Serious stuff. Rob D, keep up the great work. It's amazing how time has changed. When I was out and about, you couldn't even film anything in any of the old neighborhoods. Are you talking about for safety reasons, Rob D? It depends. I mean, some people had camcorders. There's a guy that I follow on Instagram. I don't recall. I don't know. Hit me up on Instagram if you guys want to know who it is, but I forgot his channel. But he's just some guy that was into camcorders back in the 80s and 90s, and he's got like some cool videos he puts up just like chilling around Bensonhurst or Bay Ridge, just because not everybody was doing that. You really kind of had to be into it to really walk around with a camcorder and document the streets and you know, all that shit. So I guess you're probably right in a sense, Rob D. You wouldn't want to bring a camcorder in front of a social club or whatever it might be, or certain areas. But whoever was into it was into it. And some people have left some cool videos behind for us to watch. Bet Mulligan, what's going on? Wish I was on vacation in Florida right now. If I was Sammy, I'd just have people pay me to make any vid they wanted. Hate, love, shit talking, whatever. He can make a lot of money. Yeah, he can go on Cameo and make a lot. But what he does, excuse me, but what he does now, man, he basically does that anyway. He's on he's been reduced to like doing live streams, man. So he'll do a live stream, and all the questions that he answers come from super chats. Some people are throwing him $100, $50. Some people regularly are kicking up envelopes to Sammy. So he's making money that way. So, I mean, all he has to do is sit in his chair, right? I mean, some crazy fuck approached me when filming the old Bergen hunting fish. He thought I was investigating him. Oh my God. Yeah, you run into stuff, corruption. You run into shit, man. Manny knows about that too. You know, when you walk around the street, right, and you're filming, you know, you have like a gimbal, a stabilizer, which is going to stabilize your phone or your camera or whatever, and you're filming everything, and you're paying attention to everyone that's around you, making sure that there's no fucking weirdos around you. You're paying attention to traffic, and you're also trying to remember how to coherently tell this story while you're walking around and doing it. So a lot goes into content creators that walk around and do stuff like that, stuff that Connection does, Manny does, that I do. It's an interesting thing to do, and it does feel paranoia at times. Although probably not for Manny, because I don't think Manny gives a fuck about anybody in that sense, not in general. You guys know what I mean. He gets an envelope full of shit from she gets an envelope full of shit from me. Yeah. What's up, Anthony Tavernese? Thanks for being here, man. The man. No, I'm in my own world out there. Yeah. Yeah, I get the sense that being with you those couple of times that you're definitely in your own world. In a good way. Yeah, so basically we're just going to wait to see. I think Jeff's going to come on about 10 or 20 minutes. I'll answer some of your questions. We could talk about anything else. I know I put up that short about Tesla getting out. Some people like to come here to talk about that when I do a live if you want to. If not, you know. Yeah, the way you show the old building spots and crime scenes make this channel great instead of using video clips and pictures that we've seen 1,000 times. Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, those New York City tax photo websites. I'm noticing a lot of people are finally starting to use them. I'm noticing that on Instagram a lot, and some YouTubers. Yeah, but that's a fucking gold mine, you know, for someone that's walking around filming things, and you can juxtapose it with what it looked like in the 40s or the 1980s, and like line everything up. Yeah, that's really cool. I enjoy doing that shit. I could see people questioning you filming in certain areas, especially around those places. Yeah, luckily I've never gotten into anything, and I've basically been in every area that was known to have, you know, whatever. I don't think I've ever gotten into any problems. Jeff's ability. Oh, you really don't like Jeff Bigfoot. All right. I don't know what that's about. This motherfucking man on the location. Thank you, Manny. Thank you so much, bro. Envelope full of shit. What's up, babe? So I wanted to show you guys one thing here. Fuck me. Never mind. Anthony Tabernace, what do you think about Sammy? Do you watch Sammy's channel? I'm curious to know. Vegas Pete, what is going on, buddy? Oh, speaking of Pete, people always ask me about Pete. Pete is in the process of working with somebody who I know a little bit. I've spoken to this guy before, and he's in the film industry, not like the other whatever guy he was with. This guy actually is in the industry, and he's working with Pete, and he's doing interviews, sit downs with Pete at the moment, with the hopes of turning it into something bigger. So that's kind of what Pete is up to. I sat in on one of the interviews remotely. They had a really nice location down south in Florida that they rented out, and they had a film crew, and it was very professional. And I kind of just sat in remotely, watched the interview, and kind of had an outline and some things that, just helping out as far as what Pete says and questions to ask him, and to make sure everything lines up and everything makes sense, right? Because Pete's 75 years old. And so that's what's going on with Pete. And he says he's willing to come on for a live stream soon. We'll see how that works out. I can only imagine the questions that are going to be coming up in a live stream like that. Brett, have you mentioned, oh my God? No, not yet. Well, I have mentioned, oh my God. Yeah, H Farmer. Have you seen the video with him and Jeff? What he said about Jeff? When Gravano was a gang member, him and his friends beat up another kid and then R'd him. Ew, really? With the Rampers? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, so Johnny Noodles, that guy, to me, sounds like who that guy is. Their voice is basically the same. So, yeah, I don't want to comment because I had a lot of problems with that guy, Johnny Noodles. A lot of problems. So, I don't know. I don't want to get into it. David Price. Do you remember the creepy guy at DeMayo's house in Massapequa? Yeah, there was a guy that looked at us in the window. I wanted to speak to him, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm also going to be working on putting out an actual documentary for Pete and for a bigger project, so it could maybe be used as an outline for his life. And that's something I could put out on YouTube, just going through everything, like a cohesive outline of, just basically his life and everything that he's been through, because it's fucking nuts, as some of you guys know. And I think unfortunately a lot of people don't kind of realize how crazy his life was and what he was involved in and what he's done. I like when he dash cam when he showed where John Lennon got beat up. That was actually funny. Yeah. Over there by, where's that, Long Island City? Right? When you go over that bridge there and then there's that shitty water. Is that a true fucking story? You guys remember that dude, Eyelight, that said he smacked John L.A. in a club? Remember that guy? Anything new in the case about your last scene, the parts found? No, there's nothing new about that. There's nothing new about that. That video has been demonetized. And my video before that on Sammy the Arab has been demonetized. Actually, Jeff reported that Spiridon Valensis passed away, former Greek mob boss right here out of Queens in Astoria. If anybody knows Astoria, predominantly, well, now it's like hipster a little bit. Always been kind of predominantly Greek, and before that maybe more Italians, but ultimately became a Mediterranean mecca of New York City, Greek people. Now you also have some, I think some Middle Eastern people there now too. But yeah, always a Greek stronghold. And apparently Valensis passed away. He was serving a life sentence. If some of you guys know or don't know, he did get a life sentence in the early 90s for racketeering, extortion, loan sharking. So I did Sammy the Arab part 1. If you guys want to watch that, that video is currently demonetized on my channel also. So he would ultimately go away also for the murder of Sammy the Arab, the prolific jewel thief, hotel heister, prolific New York City criminal. And he would ultimately go down for that murder after, I believe, being acquitted for it at first. And then they retried him. And he ended up going down for the murder of Sammy the Arab. That was because Pete Kyoto kind of set that whole thing up, apparently. And, of course, he testified about it. And Valensis, the police, I guess, who answered the phone at Valensis's, was it called Olympic Realty? Something like that. In Astoria, Sammy the Arab was there trying to call Valensis whatever was the case, and he ends up getting shot, and he didn't die at first. So Sammy the Arab calls the police, and basically he says that Valensis did this to me. Now, I believe they threw it out, and they wouldn't let that audio or that testimony, I guess, in his dying words be used in court. But ultimately, Valensis would go down for the murder of Sarecho Nalo, also known as Sammy the Arab, a prolific hotel heister, a prolific jewel thief, a man who once stuck a gun in the face of Sophia Loren as he robbed her penthouse, along with Bobby Comfort and a bunch of others. He was also responsible for the Pierre Hotel heist. Sammy the Arab is also responsible for a lot of other high-profile hotel heists. Hotel and a lot of these places in Manhattan, if you guys don't know, some of it is hotel, some of it ultimately becomes residences as well. So you have the really wealthy living there, and it's also kind of like a hotel as well. So yeah, Sammy the Arab, if you guys are interested in Sarecho Nalo, I did part 1 on my channel. Part 2 will come out. Very interesting character from Detroit, Michigan, who made his way to New York in the late 60s, early 70s. And interesting character. Strong Island's Finest. Yo, what's up? Yo, brother, love being able to catch these live shows starting from the beginning because I am late. Thank you for being here, Strong Island's Finest. Good guy. Speak to him on the phone sometimes. Victor Lee. Not sure if you're familiar with cartel culture and the younger Mexican generation romanticizing these acts through music. Wondering if that happens with younger Italian generations in New York. I am aware of that. There's a name for that type of music, isn't there, Victor? I believe. I am aware of that. Yeah. Yeah, and that does happen, Victor Lee Tapia. I think it often happens. It happens a lot today. I'm seeing a lot of people on Instagram, a lot of these like rappers, like Italian rappers out of Brooklyn or whatever, and they're kind of romanticizing. I don't know, romanticizing it, but you kind of tell what they're talking about. They're kind of speaking on it. Another guy who would do that was a rapper by the name of The Shark. Now, does anybody know what The Shark is? Who The Shark is? Write in the chat if you know who The Shark is from Morris Park, Bronx. Reality Report does not know. Okay. So, and it's funny about The Shark, and I'll actually play you a song in a couple minutes. I'll bring it up, but let me tell you something about. I just have to look one thing up because I want to make sure I bring the right song up. Okay. So The Shark was somebody who actually Dominic Cicali spoke about on his channel, and he's a guy that I knew about him for a while. I mean, I didn't know the Dom Cicali shit or whatever, but you just know like rappers, whatever, local rappers in New York, right? And my friend put me onto him on Instagram a while ago, and I thought it was cringe at first, and then I started looking in. So The Shark is a rapper out of the Morris Park section of the Bronx. Michael Panini, right? Now, his father, Thomas Panini, was involved with organized crime. He was involved with, he wasn't made, but he was apparently a big drug dealer with the Bananos and the Genovese, and he was a Bronx guy, kind of operating in there since like the 70s and 80s. I think he did a bid for heroin in the late 80s. He went to prison early 90s for a while. And Thomas Panini also was, he was with the Bananos mostly, I believe, and a little bit of Genovese. That whole Bronx, Morris Park shit, right? Not a made guy, just a drug dealer, associate of this guy, that guy, whatever guy. Now, he gets murdered in the early 2000s by, I believe, a guy by the name of Frank Santoro. I know there's like 12 of them. It's probably not the one you're thinking of. It's another Frank Santoro. And I don't know if it's a mistaken identity or whatever the case may be is, right? So that's Tommy Panini who I'm talking about. Now, Michael Panini is a rapper, The Shark, and somebody just mentioned, has anybody ever spoken about it? So I'm going to play you probably The Shark's most popular song, and it's called Italiano. So we'll you guys can listen to the lyrics, and I think he mentions Sammy the Bull more than once in the song. And and like I said, Dominic Cicali spoke about him, and you know, they had some kind of incident at a club and this and that. I reached out to him at one point to interview him. We became friends on Instagram. I messaged him, and basically he unfriended me and didn't want to talk. So maybe he prefers to just rap. He doesn't want to talk about his life at this point. He doesn't want to talk about his dad. But I tried, guys. I tried to interview Michael Panini. Yo, Hulk Smash, my man. This guy's been with my channel from the beginning. Glad to see you're here, my man. I hope you're doing well. John, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see who else? That's it. So going back to the person that asked me, is there Italian rappers that have glamorized or talked about? I'm going to play the Shark Italiano. Let me just, and I think you guys will get a kick out of this. And I just talked to you about who he is and about who his father was, right? So I don't think I have to keep doing that. And maybe he'll change his mind. Maybe he will be open to an interview at some point. But the Shark is way better than most of these mumble rappers. Yeah, so I'm going to introduce some of you guys to this guy in case you don't know who he is. So let's listen to this.
The mean streets of New York where we walk and talk. You got feds on the corner and they watch like a hawk. The club's above, so we can't conspire. We gotta whisper to each other cause the walls are wide. The ones who sniff coke are the informants. Yo, there's nothing coming in, money's dormant. I've been around the block, I ain't no rookie. I used to play hooky with the bookie. Grew up on Morris Park where I became the shark. While I was doing work, you were watching bark. So I'ma do this my way like Sinatra. With a lyrical investment, I will prosper. The mobster, I roll up blunt like a Rasta. Welcome to my casa, grandma's making pasta. Que pasa? This is how Italians eat. Yo, my father comes from Harlem, East 116. The old French connect, moving kilos on the D-Lo, holding heat like Pacino. Godfathers run casino, sipping Pino out in Reno. Yo, you know my stilo. I'm the real Bronx Tale, stop acting Lilo. I got love with a kiss on the cheek. Scott LaRock and Easy-E, rest in peace. Italiano.
Yeah, so you guys can look that up if you want. Like I said, I told you a little bit about him, his father, and as you can see, he says there, my father comes from Harlem East 116th, you know. And like I said, again, I reached out to him. I think he got upset that I even reached out to him. He unfriended me. He's not my friend anymore on Instagram. And so that's that. Maybe I'll try again someday. Vic Arena's great. Yeah, I heard about him too. Yeah. So as somebody asked before, yes, there is a lot of people, a lot of rappers, a lot of Italian rappers and other people to talk about it. Of course, rappers have talked about it in general forever. And there's like a bunch of songs with Gotti in it. I wouldn't throw in the Eazy-E part, but he does sound like he's trying to imitate a Big L style. I think it's just a style of the time, Cam Medical Pathologist. That boom bap, that New York style, that boom, bap, boom, bap, that heavy drum, that New York City 90s kind of street shit. I think that's kind of maybe why you're saying that. A lot of those guys back then were doing shit like that. Lord Finesse, anybody? Why did Sammy freak out? Okay. So a lot of other people have came in. So let's go back to what exactly is going on here.
I'll tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees and I'm going to make you suck my dick.
It's always
Don't
gay
fuck
with you,
with this
Sammy.
kid.
Why?
Stop, you shut your fucking mouth. Be a fucking man. You want to be a man? Don't fuck with him. Come and fuck with me. Come. This fucking bum. Yeah. You want to knock girls who are working for me. You want to knock this fucking kid for no fucking reason. You want to knock me, knock me. You want to do something, come down. Knock my brains in. Come on.
Sammy, why are you always so upset with me, man? Why do I get you so pissed off, so triggered? Why? Because I speak the truth about you, bro? Come on, man. It's always gay stuff with you, too. Why? Why is it always gay stuff with you? Are the rumors true, Sammy? The Brooklyn rumors, are they true?
So, to anybody joining, that's what's going on. Jeff Nadu says, play Got a Guy, G Fella. All right, let's play Got a Guy, G Fella. Let's see what's going on with this fool right here. Got a Guy by G. I'm not going to play the video because it's some Vivo shit. I don't really want to mess with the Vivo people. So let's see. Let's see. Got a Guy. And then I'll drop the link. What am I doing? Settings. 105 people. Everybody, please hit the like. Thanks for hanging out. Much appreciated. Okay. Let's do this. Got a Guy, G Fella.
Hey, how you doing? Yeah, listen, I got a guy that does this, I got a guy that does that, I got a guy that make your problems go away with a bat, I got a guy that bumps into people and piss you off, I got a guy that gets your plasma TVs half off. Wanna bet? I got a guy. You like the Jets? Got a guy. I got a guy that puts us behind home plate at any time. Got a guy that makes your car go bye-bye. Kick back the odometer. A guy that'll show you the heat like the thermometers. Whatever you need, man, it's in my reach. I got a guy down in the Bronx that makes the best size each. I got a guy in the DMV. I got a guy for the limousines. Cigars, forget about it. Nothing but couponos for me. And a guy is Johnny Thursday, and he's also with me. Even got a guy in the feds and the NYPD. Tips me off on these raids and informants that may be. I got a guy with a boat that put you to sea like the Navy. You wanna bet? Got a guy. Threats? Got a guy. Need money? Got a guy. Protection? Got a guy. Need them things? Got a guy. Get you through them? Got a guy. Bobby Jazz, beat the jeweler. They with me until I die. You wanna bet? Got a guy. Threats? Got a guy. Need money? Got a.
It's safe to say that guy's got a guy. That was cool. You know, it would be a good show, Jeff. We could like rank all the best Italian rappers and all the best Italian Instagram personalities from worst to first. You know, the Big Joe Gambinos and the number one Guidos and whoever else is out there grifting. I'm gonna drop a link. If Jeff wants to come on now, he can. If not, yeah, we'll talk about what's going down. You know what's funny? Hold on. Who said this? I just saw something. DL, he mentioned if Patrick Bet-David, if we can get his take on this. I actually might have got a video sent to me from the South Florida region today. I might have got a Patrick Bet-David video. Sammy may have called into Patrick Bet-David's show and complained about Jeff today. We're going to see if I get clearance to play this. My friend Pat sent it to me. My friend PBD. That's right, Anthony. And he doesn't stop commenting on my channel. This is another guy who I'm not going to talk about him, but if he continues to do what he does, at least on my channel, that he's been respectful at times. And I have nothing against him. Do I think he acts like a clown? Yeah, I can't say that I don't believe. I can't say he doesn't act like a clown. I mean, what can I say? He is, like I said, if he makes more comments, we'll see. I don't want to talk about the guy because I don't know the guy, but I don't think what he does is smart. That's all I will say. Great Irish rapper, Kneecap. Interesting. I have to look that up. It's almost done, Wizard. It's almost done. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Palladino crime family? Yeah. It's the jacket says, please get PBD's take on this. We might. It's possible. It's possible. Patrick Bet David might weigh in on this. I don't know. We'll see what happens. You don't know the guy, but you have a guy, Brett. Exactly. Exactly. I don't know him, but I have him. 111 people. Please subscribe. Please hit the like. If you guys are so kind, you can leave a super thanks, or you can leave a Cash App, $NYC Crime Spot. All donations are appreciated, and they are not mandatory, of course, because here I am, fool. I didn't charge you for this. But the great, the powerful, the amazing Roro sent this Cash App into me. Roro, like somebody said, you dress us too. She bought me this hat and she sent me this Cash App. And I don't know what I would do without Roro. She's the best. Numero uno. She is great, Chris Arshla. Thank you so much, Roro. Thank you. But anyone, it's up to you guys. The Roro, I really appreciate it. Really, it really means a lot. And you guys know I don't I'll mention it maybe once a show about donations or whatever. Not that I think I don't deserve them or anything, but I know some people have, a certain way. People keep mentioning it. I don't think there's a problem with it. Everybody has their own levels to it. Some people do it a lot. Some people do it once or twice. Roro, Carmine S says drop the Cash App. I usually pin it, but I'm terrible at this. Roro, I think she dropped it right there. DL, my man, what's up, buddy? $17. Thank you. Roro and Ruby the best. I appreciate that. That's interesting, DL. I wonder, because like when I donate super chats to channels, it's always like a whole, like a round nut, like 5 or 10. It never gives me the option of like $17 or something like that. I wonder if that has to do with your phone or what that's about. But I really appreciate it regardless, whether it's $1, $17, 50 cents. It's all good. Thank you, my brother. Is today really my birthday? No, it's not today. It's not today. It's this week, but it's not today. But thank you. Thanks for the birthdays. Aunt Shari, what's going on? Happy birthday. Thank you. Well, it's this week. Couple of days. I'm one of those people who, I don't know who mentioned that. Did you mention that, Ro? I'm one of those people that never tells anybody about my birthday. Just so you guys know. I'm one of those people. Go shorty. Craig's still chilling. Okay, take it back. May 8th. Wow, yeah. I have a friend who is the 8th. I think he's the 8th, and then I'm the 9th. Happy whenever it is. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, it's this week. Taurus gang. Another Taurus, huh? That's what's up. 105 people. Please hit that like button. It does help. It helps with the numbers. It helps with the algorithm. Helps with the numbers. A couple of days. Carmine S. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Carmine S. I always write it for some reason. I don't know. I can't stop now. Thank you, Carmine S. Thank you, my man. Appreciate that, brother. The best PBD impersonator. Nah, he's coming soon. In the 7 o'clock hour, which we are still in. He's coming soon. He's going to get ready and do some stuff. But in the meantime, we could talk about whatever. We covered a few things. Actually, there's the link. Hundos and hearts to the right help as well. Chris Archula, we want PBD. Well, we'll see. We'll see if Patrick Bet David's going to make an appearance. We'll see. I thought I lost 2 days this week when everybody started wishing you happy birthday. Yeah. Yeah. Couple of people before, too. Thank you. The great 50 Cent has appeared in the spirit of David Price. Thank you so much. Hey, would you guys be interested in me covering stuff like that? Like 50 Cent, like locations, like where he was shot, stuff like that? I don't think anyone's ever done that. That's something I've thought about doing. May 24th of the year 2000, when 50 Cent was shot. Hey, I like what you did with Dom. I don't know what you mean by that, John Stevens. Swish Rips. Yo, what's going on? Did I say hi to you, man? What's going on, buddy? How are you? Oh, you're saying yeah. Okay. Fitty would appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, Dominic Montiglio. Yeah, I've never spoken to or met Dom. My friend Ross Brodar runs the Dominic Montiglio channel, and sometimes I platform him here. Yeah. Brett, I have a question for you in the chat. On Main Street in the LAE, there was a small Italian restaurant in the early 2000s called Di Martino or something like that. Does anyone remember that? I do not remember it, Corruption. I really wasn't hanging out around that area of Flushing. I was more of a North Flushing kind of guy, Whitestone, North Flushing, Bayside. So I never really went over there. And then, of course, if you make a left when you get off the LIE, it turns into Jewish Main Street. It goes from Chinese to Hasidic Orthodox Jews, separated basically by an overpass. It's kind of funny how it works. But no, I don't remember that. Yeah, in my opinion, I find crime scenes spot. Yeah, I like to do them. I'm gonna do some Long Island stuff too. Thank you, Hulk Smash. It's in a couple days, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I mean, you interviewed the guy who did the doc. I ended up renting it. It was pretty good. Oh, awesome, John Stevens. Yeah, awesome. Very cool. I'm glad. See, that's cool that you saw him here and you ended up renting it. I like that. I like to hear that. That's fucking great. There's another Italian restaurant, Corruption and Anchari, it's kind of on Northern Boulevard, almost by Farrington in the cut. It's called like Magmas or some shit. Apparently, it's been there for many decades. I just found out about it like last year. I never heard about it. 50 Cent was shot in Queens. What year? May 24th of the year 2000, Greg. And the only reason why I know that date is because that's the same day that the Wendy's massacre happened in Flushing. So 2 historical New York City events happened on the same night. I would like to do another May 24th, 2000, maybe just an upload talking about just that date in New York City history. But I'll have to find other crimes that happened. Let's talk to Jeff Nadu. Jeff, you doing any sucking lately or anything?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I haven't. I can't say I have. I might have to soon though.
It looks like that. It looks that way.
But how you doing, man? You all right?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. This is I think this is the first time I ever came on to like put my 2 cents in on this stuff like this, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's never ending. You know,
I think I'll do it more.
This is, something. I'm sitting here yesterday and I get a text or DM on Twitter. Someone says, "Hey, did you hear Sammy went nuclear on you?" I said, "I don't watch his live, so I didn't know." And I went and watched it, and I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
We've definitely had our issues over the years. I've had good, interviews with him, and I've had, the last couple of months have been pretty bad as far as him and I. But I never thought he would go to those lengths. He didn't even do that with Lee Cole. Like when Lee Cole went saw him. So I guess I've really gotten under his skin. And he's lied a lot on me recently, calling certain things out and saying stuff that isn't true about me. But I'm sure a lot of people are wondering why he did this.
Yeah.
So about a month ago, I was doing a live, and there's a kid. Everybody knows him. This commenter, Xavier James.
Yeah.
And Xavier's whole MO is he goes in every chat, and if you're talking about Sammy the Bull in a negative way or what he perceives as a negative way, he just starts bashing you, right? And, you know, calling you out and saying a bunch of shit. So one day I just kind of had it with him, and I'm like, you know, what the fuck's your problem, bro? Like, you're always in here on your knees for Sammy Gravano, like, and I had him come on the show, and he defended himself, and, you know, he really sounded like a real simp. You know, I basically told him we should have a foundation for like a Make-A-Wish thing for you, and we'll get you out to Arizona, and maybe Sammy will do something with you for free, and, you know, and then that was that. And then a week later, he's like, yeah, this kid stuck up for me, this Xavier James. You know, he was sticking up for me with that Nadu guy. And then I guess recently I said another thing about him, and it set him off, and he just started talking about it again.
It's almost like, you know how people send you shit, right? And that's how you find out about stuff. It's almost like those girls that I work with, Sammy. Have you seen, look what they're saying about you now, Sam? It's almost like they're fucking, I almost get the sense that maybe they're tormenting him with it. And then he's kind of like, oh, you got to be kidding me, bro. And then he just flips out. And then he's got to make these attack videos or something.
Well, and look, he hasn't been happy with some of the things I've been saying about him as far as like his channel's dead. I mean, it just is.
Right.
He does these lives every week, and that's really all the channel is. Like, it's nothing more than that. And I've talked about this openly. Like 2 or 3 months ago, I wanted to do another interview with him. So
right.
I had his contact, the girl Anna. I had her contact. I reached out and I said, hey, you know, I've interviewed Sam in the past. I'd like to interview him again in person. And she said, who's this? And I was like, oh, it's Jeff Nadu. She says, oh, yeah, well, we've been hearing you talking a bunch of shit on him lately, you know, and all this stuff. And I said, yeah, I don't know that I've said anything that's not true, but I said, you know, I have a couple ideas if you want to hear them. I think there's ways you can make your show better with
right.
Sammy. And you do have Sammy Gravano at the end of the day. And she's like, oh, well, that'd be cool. Maybe you could tell us some of your ideas. They then had me sign an NDA. And now they're flipping it to, I begged to work with them, all this stupid shit. I definitely asked to work on some stuff with them. But I was trying to, look, my goal with all this is to keep going higher. That's always the goal with everything I do, right?
Right. Of course.
Get someone interested in it and then take it to the next level. And now they're using it as I was begging them to work with them, and this just ain't true.
Well, everybody knows that's bullshit because, I mean, you kind of dropped people. I mean, you've had your things with people. I mean, you had a recent thing with Casman. You kind of just like, all right, that's it. Yeah, you know, so I don't imagine you begging anybody to work with them, you know?
Brad, here's the thing. And I know you've worked with guys that were in that life at times. All the people that I've attempted to work with, there's one issue when you work with these mob guys. They have to be in control and want to be in control.
Right.
And for me, that's very problematic because to me, I look at what we do on here is I'm the professional. Okay. You're going to obviously bring the stories, but stories are cool, but we have to get people to watch them and listen to them. And I think sometimes these guys are very much not willing to give the control up.
Right.
And like, I have to kind of keep them on pace. Like, hey, we got to do this. Hey, we got to do that. And sometimes they don't want to do that. And
right.
Maybe that's why I run into kind of issues with some of these folks, but
yeah, I think a lot of times also with older people, you find that they still have like this, even if they don't say it and don't even know it, they have like this inherent, like, I don't know if they put like legacy media on a pedestal where like if you were like some dude from like ABC that was going to take control, they'd be like, oh, no problem, bro. Yeah, you're the professional. That's a lot with older people and some younger people. They kind of have that thing built into them. And I don't know what's going to get people out of that mold, but you see it. You see it.
Yeah. No, you're right. And then it led yesterday to, you know, hey, you know, come down here and you know, it's always come down here. It's never, you know, hey, Sammy, meet me in Brooklyn. That ain't never going to happen. So it's always come here. And what will happen is, let's say I go there, he'll call his FBI pals and intimidating a witness. So, you know, look, I have had ideas to take a camera crew down there and actually go and see what happens. But, you know, to me, all I really want to do is speak to him again. And we know he won't do that. So now it's, you know, it's always gay stuff with him, as I said.
Yeah.
So
what's that about? What's that about?
It's I don't know. I think it is something to just do with his time in prison or whatever. But
yeah.
Or maybe he, like I said, maybe the rumors about him are valid. Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Well, I was saying, I think it's just a thing with a lot of some of these older weird guys. I don't know. Like, you remember, like Danny Trejo would do the same thing. Everything out of his mouth was like on some gay insult. Like, you know, why don't you come over here and shut like that?
I think it's the thought of just like it's looked at as a superior thing. Like back in the day, like a lot of gay stuff was like, as long as you were giving it, you weren't gay. Right. Like I've heard that in prison. Like a lot of people will say that, you know, and it's like, I guess they look at it as ruling over you in some way. Like you're getting
like a power move.
Yeah.
What's up, Marky? What's going on, man?
But
but that's pretty crazy. I mean, dude, but it's still crazy. Like we were talking in the beginning, like Sammy's arc, like his YouTube arc, like he came out killing it. Everything was very interesting. And he's kind of just been reduced to this sad kind of display. And he's been through a couple of public beefs and he can't not. I mean, even the thing with Francis and Patrick Bet-David, who I think we have word from PBD later. Sammy was on his show talking about you. But
really?
No, not
Listen,
really. But
here's the thing, Brett. And DL makes a very good point. So for instance, he challenged me to fight, okay?
Right.
And I made a funny, like, I said something funny in the lines of like, let's fight, right? I had 50 or 100 comments. Why are you challenging an 80-year-old to a fight? Do you have any?
Yeah.
And it's like, he did. At what point do we stop? Oh, right. Fuck you. Like, it's always these guys. They always do that.
Right. Yeah. It's that when we all know a person like that. They say some wise ass shit to you. You come at them. It's like, bro, chill. I was only kind of. It's like, yeah, okay. So I've known people like that my whole life. You know.
Yeah, they're always the bag. They're always the victim. And listen, I've learned a long time ago. Everyone blames me for everything in this genre. You know, they blame me for Joey Molino going after John Jr. They said that was me. I instructed.
That was you? Okay. There are a lot of conspiracies, really.
Now, again, if you think listen, I've talked to people in his camp, but I've never talked to him directly. Look, I've been saying this stuff about John Jr. for a while.
Everybody knows where he got that. Come on. If you don't know where the hell he got that, you're not paying attention. Everybody knows where he got that.
The guy that gave him that
hasn't
said a fucking word about this until now.
Yeah.
So that goes to show you how strong that movement is.
I wonder why. Jeff, we'd rather fight him than I think that's safe to say.
Yes, I would rather definitely do that.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of victims on here. Yeah, there's a lot of victims. You know, people start shit, and then all of a sudden they're the victim.
Like that. You know, I don't want to bring the guy up, but like the guy I was talking to you about today, he was a fucking victim. You know, you put some shit in your title. I asked you about it, and then I'm the bad guy for asking you. You know, and I don't know if you want to bring that up, but again, like that, everyone on here is a victim. You call someone out for being a fucking phony, you're the bad guy. You came into this shit.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy was doing. I don't know what he's doing, but wow. Wow. Boris Bogusevich? Francis is a Christian. Say it again, Jeff?
He's all right guy. He's a good guy.
Francis is Christian as much as Chin was crazy, as much as Molino is a YouTuber. OG Mike, what's going on, man? A lot of professional crybabies. Yeah. We cut a promo for the Sammy Jeff fight. Did you see it?
I saw the thumbnail. I don't know if you did anything further.
Did you see? There's a whole promo that's been released for this fight. I don't know if you want to see it or not.
I'd love to.
19-0.
Back on the street, did my time, took my chances. When the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past. Must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the cream of the fight. Rising up to the challenge.
I don't know, Jeff. Sammy's 19-0, bro.
If I could ask, could you send me that?
Of course.
I'm gonna post that on Twitter. I'll tag Portnoy and say, "Hey, does this look like a fight you might be interested in?"
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
That's fucking hilarious.
He's 19-0, so be careful. That's all I'm saying. That's classic. Yeah. Yeah. If he dies, he dies. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Vegas Pete. So you did an announcement. Say it again.
That Vegas Pete thumbnail or little avatar is pretty funny, actually.
Vegas Pete.
His little avatar.
No fat chick. You know whose avatar I like now? Carmine S's. He's got that guy that was I don't know if he has a name. I don't know who he is. Who's that guy that was outside the Bergen? He's got like a little hat on. He's like an old man just chilling.
You mean during like the balloon thing?
It might have been. It might have been during that.
Little Joe, I think his name was.
I gotta find it. Yeah. In the meantime, you did make an announcement that I know you're not saying who it is, but you are having someone coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I'm doing an interview on Monday with them. Yeah.
Very cool.
Gonna have to, fuzzy out his face, but
is that right? Wow, it's like that.
It'll be a good one. It's
cool.
It's a guy who was in the life over the last 10 years.
Okay.
He's definitely sick, and I think he just wants a story out there. And
that's cool. I'm looking forward.
I had to really kind of like coax him into doing it, but it should be interesting. And I saw you mentioned Spiros dying.
Yeah,
I've heard some wild stories about him in prison. And I'm not going to put him out there just because I do believe his son is on here.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I've seen his son. His son's mentioned his father passing.
Is that where you got it from? Because I was wondering. I didn't...
No. I had heard about it through a connection that I have in Queens, and I contacted a lawyer that used to represent him, and he had confirmed it with me.
Wow.
But thank you, Chris. Yeah, listen, Kazman had a lot of potential, but dealing with him was a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, it seems like it. You think just been busy? Oh, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to figure out, do I get out on a plane and go out to Sammy, but
what are you gonna do? Lee Cole style?
Nah, what I would do is I would get in park a car across the street, and I would call the location, and I would say, hey, this is Jeff Nadu. I'm here. Sammy mentioned he wanted to speak to me, so we have a camera crew outside. Would he be willing to come out and go from there?
Yeah.
And I want to make this clear. If I went there, I would have security with me. No one's going to smack me in the fucking face.
Right.
This isn't like some kind of like tough guy shit. Like this is
like a gotcha thing. Yeah.
No, it's like an investigative thing. Like,
right.
Hey, you asked us to come. Here we are.
I don't know what you mean. Took digs at someone else's father, not even close. I don't know what that's talking about. So he also mentioned, I guess he says that you're going at his ladies. Oh, this is the photo of Carmine S.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy, Little Joe.
Yeah,
I think his name was.
Joe, yeah,
a Little Pete or something.
That's a great avatar. So, what was he? He was accusing you of going after his ladies over there too.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Okay, so one thing I've noticed about people with me is they take things that I do that everyone else does, and they pick me out. So there's a certain daughter out there that is mad if I do a John Gotti show. Now every OC Shorts does John Gotti shows. RG does a John Gotti show. Every creator does John Gotti shows. Everybody does. But I'm picked out. So yes, he's upset because I say they suck. They do suck. They don't know anything about the mob. They don't even know who she called the Gemini twins the Demio twins.
Yeah, the DeMeo twins, the Demio twins. Wow.
It's like, really? I mean,
yeah, it's not good. Yeah, he doesn't need. I mean, listen, I know why he's doing it. I guess. I mean, whatever, but it's. Oh, gee, I just watched the short Jeff put up on Sammy. I thought you couldn't threaten people like that on YouTube, especially sexual assault. Oh my God.
Yeah, interesting. You have to wonder what the FBI thinks of that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
Where are they in all this? By the way, Taylor K, remember when Jeff said he was leaving on May 8th fraud? Well, actually, you know what? I ended up moving my trip back because Mother's Day is on Sunday, and this is my mom's first Mother's Day without my dad. So for me, I thought it was important to stay here. Not that I have to explain anything to you, but there you go.
And just so we're clear, Taylor K, it is the 7th. So if he was leaving the 8th, the 8th is tomorrow.
Good point, bro.
Good point. Gotta keep up with the dates, you know.
But yeah, no, it's funny, OG Mike. Yet if I do a video that isn't mine and I don't siphon it right, I'll get demonetized. But he can say, by the way, I posted that video on TikTok, the one you played.
Yeah.
They removed the sound off it and demonetized it.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, I noticed on your channel, Jeff, when I went to go to your YouTube link on your Instagram profile, and it takes me to something that says the channel, the whatever, hasn't given you permission to watch this. It's kind of like a dead link, I think.
I'll have to replace that.
Yeah, I just noticed it today.
I think what I may have done is I think I may have put, when I had the other channel that I built, when I was on demonetization.
Oh, okay.
I think I might have put that one in there. I actually sold that channel to someone else.
Yeah, I remember. And I think you said who took it over, right? I think I ran into it.
Yeah, they they're I think working on the content for it now. But yeah, it's these individuals, these mob guys, they get very upset. And listen, I hear the same stuff. I heard it from that guy today. You were never around that life, so why the fuck are you talking about it? And that's the common thing I hear. I'm sure you've heard it. So if I never played baseball, I can't talk about baseball.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, how does a paleontologist? I mean, at last I checked, he wasn't walking around with a fucking raptor or whatever it may be. I think they're called paleontologists, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I get that sometimes. I also get, certain family members. One in particular lately, who somebody brought up before, who's a fucking clown. If he doesn't stop, he's gonna get his own fucking live stream.
Well, he actually, it's funny you mentioned, I won't mention who it is. There's a friend of his that comes in another content creator's chat, and he was upset with me one time because, listen, I've said this before and I'll say it again. It is bizarre for a human being who's committed double-digit murders to get out of prison.
Right.
That's super weird.
Yeah.
And it's not ridiculous to think maybe he decided to give some information. That's not that crazy of a thought. This guy was beside himself because I put that out there.
Yeah.
I've seen that guy before.
I mean, he's this, the family member, he's basically built his whole image around something that I was talking about this with somebody else that brought him up to me. Something that is really just fucking tragic. I mean, it's not like 35 years in prison, uncle gets murdered in his fucking garage. Your other uncle gets arrested trying to hide gas pipe, a muso, whatever. I mean, your whole fucking family. It's to me, it just spells tragedy. But you think it's fucking cool, and you want to come on here and attack people. You want to make rap videos emulating it while saying it's not true. I don't know how you compute that in your fucking brain. But I can go on and on. If he doesn't stop, I will give him his own live stream. And
one thing I've learned on here is there are a lot of sicko fans. A lot.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. There's a lot of people that are apologists for these people.
Yeah. And I showed it to somebody who knew that person who's getting out of 35 years in prison. He was like, he thought it was the dumbest thing ever. So
I mean, it's just, again, the hypocrisy of some of these people who, like, again, you have a guy who puts in his title that he's speaking to a Colombo captain. He's the first person to do it, but he won't tell us who it is. And then it's like, well, I don't want to tell you who, then why are you doing this? I don't understand. Like, it would be like if I said, I have someone coming on Monday and I just say, this is a Bonanno family captain. And I make you cryptically try to figure out who it is. Then if I ask you, it's like, well, why do I have to tell you anything? It's like, you came
once
on
again.
Here.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, we don't know what they're talking about now. Yeah, we're talking about family members who, instead of gracefully disappearing and becoming good citizens and, inside being a little embarrassed about some of the aspects of their family, some of them actually enjoy it, love it, flaunt it, You know, you wonder why you never see Roy's family doing things like this, and you never will, because to them it's a tragedy. Let's put it that way. And to many people it is.
There are a lot of children of these people that will admit, hey, you know, I spoke to someone, a family member recently of a very, very big guy. And she said to me, I will never sugarcoat what he did. Now, when he came home for dinner, he was my dad, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm never going to say he didn't do really bad shit. He was a killer. Like he did, you know? And I think having some sort of wherewithal or awareness is important.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they're the family, so they're going to love them, right? I mean, of course, but it's some of them. I mean, you guys see it online. I mean, I've spoken to family members of these people, you know, and of course they're not happy with how their family turned out or whatever it may be, death or prison or whatever it is. You know.
Yeah, and another thing too, I hear a lot of this. Oh, you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't. That said, though, I've done this 3 years. You start meeting people eventually. And I'll tell you one thing. I've never had one of them guys, the guys in the streets today, not one of them has ever been disrespectful to me.
Yeah.
They'll call me to a lawyer and they'll say, hey, I understand what you're doing. I like what you're doing. I think it's cool, whatever. But you had someone told a story that didn't happen. And I wanted to either tell you about it, you know, or what, like, they've never been disrespectful to me. Like, and some of these people, they come in and just think they can say whatever it is. And it's like, why don't you just be a normal human being about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? There's people that are going to make excuses. And so you got lawyers hitting you up, huh? I could imagine one of them in particular I could think of.
I had a lawyer contact me a couple of months ago and said, I have a client. He'd like to speak to you. Someone told the story that involved him, and he would prefer if you removed it. And I said, I'm not removing it. And he said, will you think twice about it? I said, okay. What if I just remove the kid's name that he mentioned? He said, that'd be fine. So we figured it out, you know. He's fine. I'm fine. Everything's good. Now, I'm also not going to push the wasp nest. I'm not going to walk into Brooklyn into a social club and start acting stupid either. You know, I've said before, my life has changed considerably. I used to live in South Philadelphia, 2650 South Watch Street. I live right in the belly of the beast of that neighborhood. I can't go back there. I can't walk around like I used to. I wish I could, but I can't. And that's because I'm not going to push buttons. I'm sure I'd be fine, but I'm not going to push buttons. Just like you wouldn't, you know, do certain things. Like I have to try to have some respect, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely felt weird sometimes because of where I live. I mean, because I do walk around these neighborhoods and I do film them and I do say things and whatever. And I have had people leave, you know, nasty comments or whatever. And I live in an area that still has guys that are around here. And so it's kind of weird, I guess, but I don't talk about them. I don't talk about what these guys might be doing lately or whatever it is. I don't think that would be in my best interest to do that, being that some of them are around here.
Hey, Brett, will you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Drop the link for Taylor K. Taylor, you have a lot to say. Why don't you come on and chat?
Taylor K. Jeff is a virgin. Okay, yeah, sure. Sure. I'll drop the link. This link is for Taylor K.
Why don't you jump on and chat? Let's have a conversation.
You're welcome to come in, Taylor K. You're welcome to come in.
Yeah,
there's a StreamYard link.
You have a lot to
we'll
put
see.
Out. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess we'll see what's going on with Sammy. You know, we'll see what he says next. But
yeah,
he's he's on another one right now.
So is this true, Johnny Noodles? Is this true, Jeff? No Ras can either go back to the neighborhood in Philly, not like Calandra and A-Light do.
I'm not sure if anybody knows. Did anyone do anything to Ron Previty?
Oh. Well, he actually flaunted it. He was like, here I am, right here, right? On video.
Ben Finger Lou Monticello, he lives down the shore. I mean, listen, here's what I'll say. I don't think any of them will flauntly walk down the street, but do I think if Gene Borello went to South Philly, would he have any issue? No.
Yeah.
I don't. I think if anyone would be mad about it, it would be like some of the young kids. You know, I got slapped in Philly. I've talked about it.
Yeah, you've spoken about it. Yeah.
Yeah. And the whole situation happened so quickly that before I knew it, we were being broken up, you know, and it was just kind of one of them situations. But yeah, the whole rat thing, I don't think people really.
Yeah, and New York City's so different now anyway. So you guys talk about like Jimmy Clange or any of that. I mean, those neighborhoods are so different. A lot of those people have moved on. The demographics have changed. And New York City is so big. Like you're talking about South Philly. You're talking about one area. I mean, New York City is so expansive. I mean, so you could walk down a block and nobody will even fucking notice you.
And the neighborhood that they're talking about is like 8 blocks.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. It's a small little area. Everybody knows everybody. So, you know, everyone's related there too. Like a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these guys that are in that world, they're all related.
Yeah.
They all know each other. They have families that are related. Like,
so what you said before, I got to ask you something before. Let me ask you a question about before. So you were talking about, did you say you wouldn't go near a social club in Brooklyn, or you wouldn't walk in certain areas at all?
No. So I wouldn't not walk. I've actually had some ideas about doing that, but no, like there's a particular social club on 18th Avenue.
Yeah.
There are guys in there right now, active guys right now.
Yep.
I wouldn't walk in there. I'll just say that.
Okay.
And it's not because I think they're going to assault me or do anything. I just am not going to, like, they're not going to come fuck with me. At least I wouldn't think. So I'm not going to hit the hornet's nest, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder what happens if just a regular person walks in there.
I can tell you.
Really?
Because I know someone that did it. He walked in, he ordered an espresso, and he asked for like some biscotti, and they said, we don't have any, just have espresso. So he waited for the espresso, and he said he looked to the right, and he saw an active guy right now, and he just stared him down.
Really?
His eyes through him, yep. And he looked at him, and 2 other guys popped out and like kind of were wondering who he was. And he kind of got the picture and got out of there. But he said the guy looked through me.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that you still got it. I mean, some places still have it. I was in the Bronx recently and noticed it a lot, actually. Well, it's because of where I was. When I did that Lilo Brancato video, yeah, it's still definitely in that area, Pelham Bay, for sure.
And my issue, too, is I obviously have a presence on YouTube, but I have a way bigger audience on TikTok.
Yeah.
So like I have people come up to me all the time. They're like, oh, I see your shows all the time on TikTok. You're the guy that does this. And like, look, it's not hard to find me on there, you know? And I know for a fact there are a lot of mob guys that are on there. Like they have profiles. You will never know. But
right. I thought about that too. Yeah. Yeah, I thought about that. I thought I heard. Yeah, you heard it. These guys are obsessed with Patrick Bet-David here. That's really
also. I'll tell you this story. I got into a beef on TikTok with this guy, Food Boss.
Right. What happened with that? I remember that a little bit. Yeah.
There's like 2 million followers. Food Boss is like this chef. And he's from New York. He makes a bunch of food. I found out that he was a Genovese associate. And he was arrested and convicted of extortion in federal court and got 6 years. So I do a TikTok one day on it, and it went viral. I think it had 700,000 views in like a week. Like it went really big. I get a DM from him one day. You motherfucker, wait till you see the video I put out, puts a video out on me. And then he threatens to sue me, saying that because of the video I did, he lost a bunch of promotional stuff, like ads and stuff. And I told him, I said, Frank, were you convicted of it in a federal court? Yeah. I said, okay, what's your point here? So what happened ultimately with him is he got 6 years, But his attorney, Jeffrey Lichtman, who he had, super big lawyer, argued that it can't be extortion because he didn't get any money out of it. And they bought it and they released him. So yeah, he sends me this video and he, I called a guy I know and I said, do you ever hear of this guy? He said, absolutely. He was around Brooklyn forever. And he married into the Genovese family. You're on mute.
Whoopsie. So there was a guy that was on, I think, The Biggest Loser. I think he was a Gambino. You know that one?
Yeah. Ask Frank Fiordolino about him.
Oh, Frank knows him? Where is Frank? Thought you'd be here, Frank.
I'm pretty sure. Was it Frank? It was Frank or Howie. I'm pretty sure told me about that guy.
Chris, also, you have a good.
Bro, sorry, not to interrupt.
Okay.
You know who the guy used to run around with?
Who?
It is Frank. He was with Bobby Glasses.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah.
That's funny. So Frank definitely knew him, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have a good sense of humor, Jeff. Part of why I started watching you. Good content.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Tony Ducks or just Ducks. I think people drastically underestimate the amount of associates there is in New York City. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a freaking lot, man.
And what is an associate? Is an associate someone who, cuts wise guys' grass? Like, is someone an associate like in Sopranos when Paulie was taking cuts from that guy's lawnmower business? Was he an associate? The guy? Yeah. I talk to mobsters. Am I an associate? It's like
right. I guess if you're I don't know if you're making money or helping them make money, I guess that's, I don't know.
Frank knew him too, Carmen. He grew up around him.
Like, I did this live stream on Eric Ulrich. I don't know if you know who he is, New York City politician. So I did a whole live stream breaking down his case. And my question was, mob associate? Well, I mean, he is in city council for however many years. He is a politician. He is doing favors for these mob guys. He is giving them these sweetheart deals. He is looking out for them. He has known them forever at the pizzeria on Cross Bay. He was at a social club. I think it used to be Perone's social club, and now it's something else. He was hanging out there, fucking around. Is he an associate or is he a city councilman? Like, where is the line?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sounds like
anybody that does something for them folks, they would be an associate.
And 2 times he wrote letters for guys that were indicted. One guy that was indicted with the Ronnie G case with Borello and all of them, he wrote a letter for one of those guys.
About that guy.
And he wrote a letter. Yeah, if you want, watch my live stream. I kind of broke it all
Russian,
down.
Right?
Eric Ulrich?
Yeah, or like he's something.
I don't know what his nationality.
I might be thinking of someone else, but I've heard of something about that.
Yeah, 2 different letters he wrote over the span of however many years for these mob guys who were indicted, and a bunch of other shit. So
this was in Ozone Park, right?
Yeah, Ozone Park guy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Cyril Perone's club, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was, and now, according to what they say, the guys that were owning Cross Bay. I don't know why I did a whole live stream. Aldo's, those fucking guys. Apparently those guys might have taken it over. Huh?
Trucchio is involved with that.
Exactly. Yeah. He had a no-show job there. He's managing it. I don't know. Something like that. That was the old owner, Aldo Calore, I think his name is. And then they sold it to the guys that have it now.
You know who I'm trying to find? And I mean, I've had some pretty cool people that I've found recently. I want to find that guy, Peter Pasta.
Yeah.
That's a guy I want to find.
I looked into him once. There's kind of 2 that might be him. I'm sure you found him.
Yeah, I found like some possibilities, but I actually found I don't know if you know this guy. I'll tell you in the private. I don't want to put his name.
Okay.
This guy's been like a ghost. I found him recently.
Oh, really? Where was that at?
I just
can't say. You can't say.
I just did some legwork and I found photos of him and stuff. And like, that's
really?
It. Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
Nicky Glasses was Bonanno Capo, Marangello. He was from Knickerbocker. He had a social club down on Madison Street, I think, in Lower East Side.
Yeah, I know. He's in those videos too, right? When they're in court with him and Messina, right? They're on video
And
together, right?
Nikki Glasses had like Coke bottle
Yeah.
circle glasses.
Barone Social Club in Flushing. I'm not sure. I never heard of that one. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I'll have to send you it, Brett. There's like a Google file that I have where this guy did.
Oh, the maps.
Yeah, like
Yes.
a master list of like all the social clubs over the
Right.
years.
Yep.
And I've never heard of Barone. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't know. You know, where I grew up, they didn't really have them. They had the guys that lived here, but they didn't really have them like out in the open like that. It was kind of like it was like a refuge for them, kind of almost.
I'll tell you what, Barone, could that be I know Joanne Gallo had a club in Queens.
Right. Actually, there's a surveillance photo of him in Flushing at the old diner that was on Northern Boulevard in Flushing that I've seen before.
Yep.
Not too far from where I am now.
Did she say Flushing or Astoria?
Flushing.
Okay. I'll see right now. Hang on.
Yeah, we'll see maybe. That's my aunt, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flushing's by Astoria, right?
Maybe like 15, 20 minutes. You got to get on like the highway to get there.
Let me find it here. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me see.
I don't even know of any that are even on that list for like Whitestone, Flushing, Bayside. I don't even know.
Well, there's some in Corona.
Yeah, Corona for sure.
Flushing. Yeah, I don't see any in Flushing.
Yeah, I don't really think there was. I mean, if there none of note, let's put it that way. There might have been some bullshit ones here and there.
There's one in Murray Hill.
Is that Flushing?
Yeah, it says it's Broadway, Flushing, Murray Hill.
Yeah. Oh, that was a Lucchese on Depot Road, does it say? Or something like that? Or Station Road?
3605 164th Street.
Right by the railroad. Yeah. So I saw that. That was apparently a Lucchese club. I don't know who had that club.
There's also one in Rego Park. That's the Stella Restaurant. That's not a club. No, there's none in Flushing that I see.
Does it say whose club that was?
Just says social and gambling club run by Lucchese family. Members only sign his own front door.
Interesting. I definitely know of somebody that might have been there.
There's also another one in Astoria, Vincent Papa's HQ. But no, there's none in Flushing that I see here.
Heroin guy, right?
Yeah.
Ducks, yeah, he was on the park bench with Carniglia and Tony Walsh walked through. Carniglia. Yeah, people gave me shit about talking about that guy too. Stupid.
Charles Carniglia?
Yeah, Charles. Yeah.
Man, he's a nut.
With the whole people make excuse, with the whole Albert Gelb situation and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's funny. I talked Chad Marks told me that he's a really nice guy, like in real life.
Is he?
Yeah, like he said when he was in prison, he was always around him. He said he was a super nice guy.
Huh.
Like
yeah, because that's not what his reputation is, of course.
Yeah. I think it's probably because he's not on drugs anymore,
Could be. But all the weird shit, I mean, listen, it came from like Bud Zaccaro and these other guys were saying that he would keep mementos hanging up in the yard.
Go back to that, will you?
Oh, which one?
Go to Gino Travelin.
The way you went after Sammy was bad enough, but going after Anna, very shitty on your part. Later.
Did you miss what they said about me? Why am I... Gino, explain yourselves. He told me to suck his dick, but I'm the bad guy for responding. What is wrong with some of these folks?
Well, let's remind them. Hold on a second.
Tell you something, Jeff. Yeah. I would like you to come down and see me because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees and I'm going to make you suck my dick.
It's always
Don't
gay
fuck
when you
with this
say
kid.
that. Why?
Stop, you shut your fucking mouth.
It's even worse that he's going to bust your mouth first and then make you.
Yeah.
That sounds like a weird fetish.
Anna's the same person who allowed people in that chat to call me a chomo.
Yeah.
She also said that I got fired from Barstool, which never happened. Like, I guess people just they hear what they want to hear. I don't know, Gino, how on earth you could come to that comment, but
Well, once again, it's like the victim thing. Like people can say shit and Cam Doubleday, oh my God, LOL. Yes. Yeah, there's still people that haven't seen it. People coming in now. It's a classic clip. I mean, you're up there now. You're up there with Lee in this shit now.
I mean, that video you made though, the one with like the boxing thing, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'll send you that one.
I gotta post that. That's
we have another one with Patrick Bet David interviewing Sammy the Bull about the situation.
Can I see that?
If anybody wants to see it, just so you know, it's not really, I hope don't get your hopes up, but it's kind of long. It's 3 minutes. So if you guys, because these people have been asking me to drop this Patrick Bet David shit, this is all they ask me about.
I gotta hear this. Let's hear it.
So it's 3 minutes long. If you guys want to hear it, here it is. Hold on a second. All right.
So here's a good story I want to get into right now. So you guys remember the Sammy the Bull. I brought him out on the show. He made appearance. Some say maybe I catapulted him to start on YouTube. Very successful channel. As of late, maybe not so successful. But I want you to pull up this photo of this guy right here. Pull up that photo. This is a guy named Jeff Nadu. He's got sit-down podcast. He's on the TikTok. I don't know if he's getting fired from Barstool Portnoy. I don't know what it is. He worked for them at one point. But now he's got a real problem. So we're going to have Sammy the Bull. He's going to call in and he's going to tell us what the problem is. Sammy doesn't like that this guy has his name in his mouth. So really he wants to put something in this guy's mouth. Sammy, what's going on?
Bro, I interviewed with this guy, bro. He's a disrespectful prick. I gave him a shot to stay loyal, and all he's done since then is talk about me. So he could suck my fucking dick. He could suck it. I'm the bull. I'm the Don of fucking YouTube. And you may have brought me out of the shadows, but I'm the fucking Don of YouTube. I don't care about Joey Milano. I don't care about Carmon Lamadizzi. I don't care about any of these guys. I killed Castellini. End of story, bro. I don't need any of these guys to make a name. If they're going to attack me, they're going to end up like the Lee Cole. He came to visit me in Arizona, and we handled him.
Yeah, pull up that photo of this other guy. Pull up the photo of this other guy. This is the Lee Cole. He's another one. He said he's driving around Arizona, minding his business, but somehow he ends up to where you do the show, and I think your son, maybe he punched him. So, Sammy, let me ask you something. You have a lot of problems, a lot of things. I think your show is not right now what it should be, but how are you going to handle this going forward? I'll give you the last word. You can plug whatever this is going on, and, we'll be looking forward to everything that's going to happen with you, Sammy.
Right now, I'm trying to work it out with Hollywood. We got big things coming, bro. As far as these other guys, I can't waste my time. This guy wants to challenge me to a boxing match. Let me tell you something, bro. And I'll tell you the same thing I told Teddy Atlas in 1984. I'll box your fucking head off, bro. Lee Cole, Jeff Nadu, anything. I got things working out with Hollywood, Patrick Bet David, and we're going to see how that's going to work out. But from now on, I'm not going to answer these guys. I got OC Short. He's Australia, wherever he's from. And we're bringing content, bro. Jeff Nadu, one more time. You can come to Arizona, get on your knees, and suck my bullhorn. And that's it, bro.
So if you like this clip, make sure you click the next one. We're going to have the guy who says that Nancy Pelosi is transgender. He's coming on the show next to talk about it.
That was fucking great, man. No, it was really funny when you go, well, I am, like Sammy always has that little pause between things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's funny, man.
So there you go, people. That's what you were asking for, so I made it for you.
I was hoping to hear Cosa Nostra. He always says that.
Cosa Nostra. I killed Castellini.
That was so funny.
Holy shit. Wow.
That was you doing Patrick Bet David?
Yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
Do me a favor. Pull up that photo right now. I want to go over this little clip right here. There is this guy. He says that Nancy Pelosi was touching him in kindergarten. So we're gonna have this guy.
It's actually very good.
I always go on Gunsmoke show and do that shit. He gets a kick out of it.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. So if you guys want more bits, more skits, just let me know. I'll make more. We'll fuck around.
Yeah, that was funny, man. Holy shit.
All right. What else? All right. I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll let you get back to your show if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out soon anyway. I'll send you that fight promo. We'll play it one more time and then we'll send you out of here. What did I do? What am I, fucking a moron? There we go.
Rising up, back on the street. Did my time, took my chances. Went the distance, now I'm back on my feet. Just a man and his will to survive. So many times it happens too fast. You change your passion for glory. Don't lose your grip on the dreams of the past.
Put you on your
Must fight just to keep them alive. It's the eye of the tiger, it's the cream of the fight. Rising up to the challenge of our rival. And the last known survivor stalks his prey in the night. And he's watching us all in the eye of the tiger.
All right, that's it, man.
Before I go, I'm glad you put the Rough and Rowdy footage. That was the greatest night, man. That was such a fun fucking weekend.
Your main event, right?
Yeah.
That's
That
awesome,
was. I wish I could relive that night because it was so fun, man. Like that whole weekend was fun.
Yeah,
Like
you
it
did
was,
like the whole press tour, all the shit, everything, right?
Yeah, we did the press tour a week before. We did it was at Barstool headquarters. And then going down there was wild. It was down in West Virginia. And just the night before we had a press conference, that was crazy. And just the whole lead up. It was just we were the last fight, and I sat in that dressing room for like 3 hours.
Really?
Sat there, and man, what a fun fucking night. And
How many people?
There were about 5,000 people in there.
Wow.
It was like an arena. It was like a big arena, like where they do like conventions and wrestling and all sorts of shit. We had 70,000 buys. So
yeah, wow.
It was
70,000 buys. That's pretty good, man. Wow.
Yeah. We actually went the fight. We were supposed to be the last fight, but there was a fight after us. It was supposed to be before us, but they put it after us because they were worried that both the fighters like 500 pounds, and they were worried that they were going to break the canvas.
Jeez. Any like notable? Anyone else that was on the card that maybe I would know or anyone would know?
No, it was all rough. Like it was all Rough and Rowdy people. Like if you follow Rough and Rowdy, you would know.
Yeah.
But the fight before mine, the card before mine, I think it was 3 months before, that had Jose Canseco on it.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah. Who did he fight again? Frank, grab that link if you want to come on for a minute.
He fought this kid Billy Football, and Jose took a dive.
He kicked his ass. Jose got knocked out.
Jose knocked it. 10 seconds in. So in my contract, when I signed the contract for the fight, I got paid more if I got through the first round. We both did, me and Jerry.
Oh, wow.
And then the person that won the fight, he also got paid a little bit more.
And you went the whole thing. You went decision, so.
Yeah, we went decision, yeah. And look, I knew I wasn't going to win a decision because he worked at Barstool at the time, and I didn't. So.
And you said you didn't even train, right?
No, I didn't train 1 minute. I have to admit, though, one thing that it made me realize is how fucking terrible I looked fighting. So what I did is I went and trained for real. So I have fun with boxing. It's just a joke for me now. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not like. But I have considered. You know what I have considered, Brett? I want to fight again, like just as like a undercard fight, and show people that I actually can fight a little bit now.
DL, did Portnoy line his pockets? So,
oh yeah, and they made a bunch of money on that fight.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah, it was such a fun fucking that
like on that, like on Rough and Rowdy. You're saying?
Yeah,
You want to go back on that?
I would love to, like a set, like a one of the minor fights, just to say I did it again. That was such a fun event, man. Just
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man.
like the interview I did after, it was
yeah.
so.
And you're cool with that dude, or are you still kind of
Jerry? Oh yeah. It was weird because so that night was a whirlwind. After we were done fighting, I actually found out he was the room right next to mine. I never knew. We were in the same hotel. He was right next to me the entire time. And I remember it was about midnight, and we had planned to leave, me and my boy Ryan. We were going to leave the next day, like 5 a.m. This is a 6-hour ride home, and we just wanted to get out of there. So I went up to my room, and I'm like, I'm beat. I might have had 300 text messages, I think. It was insane. I was trending on Twitter. I was top 5 in the whole world.
That's crazy, man.
It was insane. And I got a knock on my door, and it was Jerry. And he's like, hey, man, he's like, no hard feelings. He goes, we did great. I was like, I couldn't agree more. And that was it. And we ended up working together again. And
it was pretty hyped. I mean, main card. I mean, you guys definitely did a good job on that, man.
Yeah, we both
really cool.
We both did well. It was a fun event. And that's why when people like trashed me for it, it was like that was a memory I remember my whole life. That was and that one other thing, like, I don't mean to get like sappy, but that's when I believed finally my parents like understood what I did in life. Like they understood like the magnitude of what because I was they never, I think, fully grasped what I was doing. And that was the last time like my dad was healthy. So I mean it was, they watched it. It was like a big thing in my parents' house. They had like a party. It was cool. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, you've been doing this for what, a decade already, right? Mostly.
I've been doing
content.
I remember the first show I ever did was in 2009. I still have the video on YouTube. I did a 3-minute video on, I think it was the Chargers against the Broncos. I did one of these goofy little free pick winner videos. I remember, and that was it. And I never since.
Wow. Speaking of that, I texted you a while ago about a certain person's child, and I saw that they actually ended up getting picked up.
I'll have to take a look. Person's child. Oh, the guy you mean?
Yeah.
When was that?
No, not picked up. I'll write it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, you could text me later. But yeah, it's been a fucking wild ride, man. I never thought, like, even doing this, like, I never thought it was just a hobby of mine. It was like what you do, I always found the mob cool,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit. Good for him. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'll have to check that out.
Interesting. Yeah.
All right, Brett.
Big dude.
Yeah, he is. I saw that. Well, I'll tell you what. That guy you were talking about, I've heard he is a real tough guy too.
All
right. Well, thank you, my friend.
But
absolutely.
All right, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for giving your insight. I hope everybody enjoyed having Jeff here. I think this was a good topic, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, if you can, send me that video. I want to post that.
I'm going to send it to you now.
Okay, thanks, brother.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Yep.
Have a good one. All right, guys. So that was the great Jeff Nadu of the Sit Down podcast. The Sit Down with Jeff Nadu. Let me send him that clip. I think Frank Fiorellino said he would hop on in a few minutes. I'll give him a few minutes, and I'll get his take on some of this, because Frank was actually in. He was actually in. Hold on a second. Because of this birthday thing in the chat or whatever, I'm getting like happy birthdays. Happy birthday. Sorry, guys. It's not today. It's this week, though. Would have never mentioned it, but someone mentioned it. Yeah, so Frank actually knew Sammy at one point. He was incarcerated with Sammy. And he has said some interesting things about him over the time. Here he is, Mr. Frank Fiorellino. Frank, what's going on? Did you see some of what we were talking about? Did you see the drama, the beef The bull.
No, what happened?
You didn't see?
No, I just came on now. I was surprised you guys. I just didn't know you guys were on.
Did you see what was happening with Jeff and Sammy though?
Like Sammy came on?
No, I wish that would have been hilarious. No, just what he said. We were talking about, his latest attack.
Oh yeah. Like as of yesterday.
Yeah, this one.
I'll tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me.
Yeah, I see it.
Fucking mouth wide open. I'm gonna put you on your fucking knees and I'm gonna make you suck my dick.
Yeah. So what do you think about that, Frank? Because you spent a little
I'm
time
not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's just who he is. He thinks he's 15 years old. It's just who he is. I mean, he can't help himself. He was the same way when I met him when he was in his 50s. He ain't gonna. Was he gonna change now?
Yeah. Wow.
You know what I mean? Are you guys surprised? It's just that's who he is.
Yeah, that's kind of what he's been reduced to at this point. I mean, he didn't start out on YouTube like that, even if he was kind of that kind of guy, but that's kind of what it's come down to for him.
Yeah, I think he suffers from PTSD of flipping. When he flipped, he suffered from it, that he couldn't be who he was anymore. So he just comes up with all these fucking situations that he did what he did because he had to do it. He's just I think he's fucked up in the head, honestly. That's where I come up with that.
Yeah, you think that messes with him where he kind of, because he's so Costa Nostra, bro. It kind of took a couple of notches off his belt.
Right. Yeah, he starts rationalizing, looking for fucking things that meet his narrative. I mean, there's no narrative to be met when you fucking flip. When you flip, that's it. You flipped. You're a rat. But not to him. And a lot of people are like that.
Yeah. I think that, he was probably, well, at least the way he talks, Frank, like he was such a believer in that. He was such a believer in that life. So the idea
it was cool with him to. I mean, we were both in the same place. We were Italian. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. And we were both. So it was like, agree to disagree type of situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would I want to be somewhere with him again? Nah, fuck no. I don't want nothing bad to happen to anybody. I mean, I don't want anything bad to happen to him at all. But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't have to be around him either.
Yeah. Well,
all these fucking guys that were looking to go over there and be buddies with him, thinking they could further their story, not story, but further themselves as far as in this genre or whatever fucking mob genre.
Yeah,
I wasn't one of them.
Right. Interesting.
But,
What's that question, Joey Frakes? Frank, I got a question.
Exactly. I see that.
What is that? You can ask it, Joey. Somebody else.
You guys want to have questions? I'll answer them if I can. I mean,
Mickey Griggs, when did you meet Sammy, Frank?
I met him in 2005, I believe, or 2004. Let me see. So 2004, September of 2004.
September of 2004. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was his ecstasy thing, right?
Right. He had just gotten released from the ADX because I don't know. What did he? Okay, what happened was during that time, the Gambino family, his old crew, was starting to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And they couldn't need him anymore, obviously, as a witness because he fucked up. But they would go ask him questions. And he was aggravated because they were going to the ADX and ask him, all these fucking questions. He was like, "Look, I'm not going to answer. I'm not getting nothing out of it. At least get me out of this fucking place." You know what I mean? So they put him back in a regular one of these fucking rat units, okay, if you will.
Okay. Yeah.
And he ended up dead. And that was it. That's where I met him.
And where was that?
shit. I know where it was. I just don't know if I want to say. It was one of the rat units in the East
Yeah, all
Coast.
right. No, that's fine. That's fine. Joey Frake says, were Joe Messino and Sammy in the same joint at the same time? If so, did they interact?
I don't think they were, because Sammy was, he was knowledgeable with his information and all that, but he wasn't. I'm not going to say important, but he wasn't. They couldn't use him because see, what you fuck up in a case, they don't use you no more because the defense would fucking have a fucking field day with you. If you got in trouble or something.
Yeah.
But obviously, he was useful because he was in Cosa Nostra, and not only that, he was also an underboss of the Gambino family.
Right.
But let's say if there was another guy they needed more in a unit, they'll put him back in the hole, and he hated that. That was, I guess, the first time he ever seen that he wasn't relevant anymore or important to them.
Yeah,
so you could have a guy that's supposed to go. Who's first of all, he can't be with no Gambino guys, and I couldn't be with no Banano guys that I knew on the street. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't put you together. But as far as Joe, I don't know if they knew each other out on the street. I'm thinking maybe not, because I think Joe comes out in '92 and Sammy goes in, but then who knows if they knew each other back in the day? I don't know.
Before that, who knows, right? I mean,
well, I don't know, but anyway, they weren't put together, and it makes sense.
Yeah. But you said you can't be with Banana. But didn't you interact with Joe Messino though when you were locked up?
I'm sorry.
Didn't you have interactions with Messino?
Of course, but that's because we didn't flip.
Oh, that was before. I get it. Oh,
yeah. No, not when we flipped. They got to separate us so they don't think we corroborate stories.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Good. Let's see. Anything else here? Oh, Jeff mentioned before, because I brought up that there was this guy that was, I think he was on The Biggest Loser, and then he got out.
Robert Ivani. Yeah, I know him.
Yeah,
sure.
who's that guy? What's his name?
Big Rob. We call him Big Head Rob.
He was with Bobby Glasses.
Yeah, he was somebody who Bobby took a liking to, but he always fucking gave Bobby headaches,
Yeah.
He was in a violent guy. He was a money guy, but also a little bit of a schemer. I got a great story about him. There was one kid that got killed, Ralphie.
Okay.
And they both were around Bobby. So he was such a degenerate gambler at one time. This was like when he was like 20, 21. He would get Ralphie to go to his parents, who were like old Italians, but had money, to tell him that he owed him money so he could get money from them so they could go pay their bookie.
Oh, that was
Ralphie had Ralphie had the Mercedes and all that shit.
So he was just a neighborhood guy who was kind of
No. He was definitely an associate.
Okay.
Yeah. But he was a money guy. Like, he sold fireworks, he sold the Christmas trees, he sold cigarettes. He was that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's look. So here's the article. That's him, right?
Ooh, let me see. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, of course.
So it says fat fighter gangster known as Big Head was spotted on The Biggest Loser by Gambino bosses while he was supposed to be lying low. Robert Levane featured in a special edition of the Reality Diet Show.
Robert Iavani, that's his name.
Oh, it's an I. I'm sorry. Okay.
Iavani. He's not a Neapolitan guy. Yeah, I met him in high school. He was always a character.
Racketeering. He was mentioned at Racketeering and Murder Trial of Bartolomeo Vernace, Bobby Glasses. An obese New Yorker named in court as Gambino Gangster appeared on TV show The Biggest Loser. Yeah, so there he is. Yeah, he does have a fucking jughead now that I look at it.
Yeah, we called him Big Head.
Oh, look at this guy. Holy shit.
But I got a big head too, so it doesn't matter.
Look at this fucking guy.
That's the mob go-to.
Former Banana mobster Joseph Gambino told the court his criminal dealings with Iovani included illegal sports, and so I'm guessing you knew that guy too. Then
Joe Gambino, yeah, I know him all my life. Joe Gambino happens to be Anthony Aiello's first cousin.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos, what's going on, man? How are you? OG Mike still chilling. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. That guy. There's been a few guys that. Oh, thanks, Chris Archula. PBD stuff. All right, this is Carmine S. Do you remember when Bobby Glasses, another guy, went into the Shamrock Bar and shot Linda, got his boyfriend?
No, absolutely not. I was 11 years old. I remember in an interview. I didn't know that Bobby. I said it already. I didn't know it was on Park Bobby. I knew Glendale Bobby. Two different Bobbies. I never even knew. I was surprised when I found out that he was even involved with something of that nature.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, it's just not at all. I didn't even know what a Shamrock Bar was.
Yeah, because he wasn't known to be that type of guy mostly, right?
Not well. I mean, if you had to fucking
right,
knock a guy, show him where show him who's who. Yeah, of course, but not much. He was one of them old timers. He didn't want to. That wasn't one thing he liked to show.
Right. Yeah. If anybody else wants to ask any more questions, hey Carlos, Mickey Griggs, I'll hang out for a little while longer.
Cool.
What else we got?
So this is just kind of a stir. I like this the whole thing with the Nadu, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of a thing. I mean, I don't really come on and talk about this stuff, but I couldn't resist. It was too funny not to talk about it. And I put some, I made some fight promos and some editing and some funny shit. So
yeah,
but, it's fun. It's fun to mess around with this stuff for me once in a while.
I mean, and who the fuck talks like that in front of a young lady? You know what I mean?
Right. He's sticking up for the ladies.
He's a buffoon. He's a fucking. That's what he is.
Yeah, he's sticking up for the ladies, saying Jeff was talking about him, but he's
while telling that his getting his dick sucked is on the table, just in case you ladies, I also do enjoy a blowjob for both sexes.
Right. Cam Doubleday says 19-0. LOL. Yeah, Sammy's 19-0. Jeff is 0-1 as of now. So, because Jeff challenged him to a boxing match.
Then he had that fucking one thing. What did he do?
Sammy?
No, what the fuck? That shirt I was talking about that he printed, that 19 shirt.
Oh, Bull 19. Yeah. Bull 19.
Trash can.
And he says, oh, no, it means something else. What else could it mean? I don't know.
He's stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. We were just talking about what he's kind of been reduced to as of late. He's kind of been reduced to basically, a live stream guy who has these cheerleaders. He's taking the envelopes and, it is what it is. That's what he's into.
Yeah, I don't know. Who the
Thank
fuck?
you, bro. Thank you, bro.
Yeah, thank you,
Did he always
bro.
talk like that?
Yeah. He calls everybody Bo, B-O.
But like that cadence to his voice, like that,
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he does a lot of that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what is this? Wow, I thought he was released in 2019. Who's that? Sammy? When was Sammy released? He was released in like...
I don't know. I left. I was released in 2008.
I think he might have been released in like 2017 or 18 or something.
I don't know when he was released. I never kept in touch with him,
Yeah. You should go in there. You should give him an envelope.
Well, I look. I stay away. I have stories. I don't want to. If I was somebody else, probably some of these other guys that love that kind of shit. Basically, if I got nothing good to say about anybody, I don't say it. I don't talk about active people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And if I do, it's usually positive, or I just don't say anything. That's what's keeping me from writing my book and stuff, because I start and I'm like, you know what? Maybe not that's not good. This ain't for me. You know what I mean?
Like, you don't want to be the person that talks, like in like
no. Just in general, like I think even sharing stories about friends that were just only stories that you guys shared together, not criminal, whatever. Or sometimes they're just ones that don't need to be heard,
I get it. I get it. I get it. You should write a book
Family
though.
functions and who is there. No, I did, and I've tried, and I did. I've started. I'm in the middle. Sometimes I hold back. It's just I don't know. I have problems with it. I don't you know how people get writer's block. I get writers
Yeah.
withdrawals.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but that's the way that is. But it's a lot of good stuff. I mean, a book can only make the people I grew up look a little bit better than worse. And it kind of humanizes
like
them.
you humanize them. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, not everybody, but most of them.
Right. Right.
Well,
Yeah.
but that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I think it would be.
I've had a lot of people come up to me. A lot of people ask, there's fuck. A lot of people interested in certain aspects. Not me personally, but people around me and people I was around. But
so they want information about other people from you.
No. They want those stories with me, but they also like to hear about people that a lot of people don't write about.
Right. Okay. Okay.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I imagine then, yeah. So you have been approached, I guess, about certain projects, right?
Well, many times.
Yeah. Okay.
Many times.
Okay.
But sometimes it's not. Look, if somebody came up to me tomorrow and say, "Hey, you want 500,000, $1 million?" Yeah, give me the pen and paper, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But like I said, it's got to be tasteful. It's got to be not, you know. You know what the problem with a lot of people that write books in my situation is that when they start writing about people that they once were cool with, they start putting all the shitty things about these people, like and not that they necessarily did, but maybe one of their relatives did, or when their wife left them for another guy or whatever. They like doing that shit, you know. It's kind of their way of getting back at them.
Oh yeah, yeah, like a spite thing. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah.
Well, it happens a lot. It happens a lot, you know. And I don't like that. But that's what people want.
Well, you've resisted a lot. I mean, you've resisted like even starting your own channel. So
I have, yeah. And then I've had people offer me that money for that, you know.
Yeah. I guess it's a big commitment for you. I suppose that's kind of
no. It's a little bit of tug of war sometimes, and the commitment is there definitely. It's like, you know, if I would do it, I would do it right. I would do it where, you know. I would have people on. I would have them tell stories, and I do have people that would want to come on with me that haven't come on with a lot of other people. Not many, but they're out there.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, it could work. It could work.
Yeah, I think it would be interesting. Yeah, and you know,
I mean, I'll ask you as the person who listens to some of this stuff, you know. I don't know how much of the mob stuff you listen to, but whatever. I mean, what don't you like to hear, and what do you like to hear? Can you tell when somebody's fucking embellishing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know, it's hard because how do I put this? I think the biggest problem is, Frank, is a lot of this stuff is interesting, right? It doesn't really matter who it is. You know, people can say this guy's a rat, don't take it, you know, putting all that aside, whatever. A lot of this stuff is very interesting, but I think that a lot of it for some of these guys gets stale. And I think it's because, and I hate to say it, but because I don't know, some people might disagree, but it almost comes down to kind of what Jeff says, where a lot of these guys either don't want help or think they can do things on their own, and maybe they're not cut out to continually put out content. So I think the stories get stale and it gets less exciting the longer some of these guys have channels, Frank, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
But I think a lot of that has to do with some of these guys like just being fucking lugheads.
Yeah, they want their stories. They want to run with their stories so much they start fucking just saying silly ass shit, and people like, no, you know, that's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think a lot of them are like, maybe they're all smart in a sense, but I don't I don't know how high their intelligence is, and I don't mean to judge anyone's intelligence, but like somebody like you, like I look at you personally as somebody who is intelligent, streetwise, but also just like hearing you talk about things, you know a lot about history, music, whatever it may be, you know, because I've seen you talking about a lot of stuff.
I don't know about intelligence, but I do. I
think you have a more of
a lot of things interest me, and when they do, I usually,
right.
invest in them.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of interesting things, and you could probably talk about a wide variety of things, right?
Right.
Whereas I
Right.
think
But
some
that's
of
what
these
I would
guys,
do.
yeah, and I think some of these guys are kind of dum dums underneath, some of what they're doing. I mean, and I'm not trying to knock anybody that this
Well,
guy's not
yeah. I mean,
smart or whatever, but
yes, a lot of them, of course, a lot of them are got PhDs on the streets, and then they have a third grade education, but it's worked for them. A
right.
kind.
Well, yeah. That's not to say that doesn't transfer well for some of them, but I don't know. I think the direction, some of them just need more direction. And like I said, the stories get stale, right? So somebody like you or someone else that would come out and tell stories, but it has to be like you said, tasteful, Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of components that come into those kind of stories. Yeah, you know what I think is too, like, nobody wants to take my situation wants to take time and give other guys who have good stories credit, because it's kind of like even today it's like an envious thing. But if I would love to talk about somebody who was interesting and somebody else like that I didn't know nothing about, but I've learned about, and have them on and talk to
yeah,
them about it. But a lot of the guys are, yeah, but they'll be like, well, you know what? I was a captain and he was just a fucking so stupid shit like that.
yeah,
So
that's
why
so
would he
stupid.
tell me how shit works? Well,
Yeah,
everybody has different fucking stories because all crews, families, and whatever are different.
yeah, yeah. No, that's another thing. Yeah, that's a problem too. I mean, I don't think it matters. I mean,
That all goes back
um,
to fucking just education, though. And I'm not
yeah,
talking about education school wise, just as in life in general.
yeah. I mean,
Um, back to like people like me that probably went to school a little bit, not finished, just enough to freaking know what right and wrong. Maybe we're the ones who are the dummies and not the ones who had no choice that grew up on the street. You get it?
yeah, I get it. Yeah,
You could always say, "But where you fucking, you knew what you were getting into. You were smart enough to know you ain't that stupid. So who's the dummy now?"
yeah. Yeah. It's a good point. But I think your perspective is one that's not really out there. I mean, as you know, no one really talks about a lot of that stuff. The neighborhoods you came out of, really. I mean, on
Right.
a facade, there might be like a Giannini crew episode, or maybe something about some guy out of Bushwick or whatever it may be. But I don't think there really is. I know those archaeologist guys were kind of trying to go deep, but they don't really put out content, so I don't know really what's up with them. But
They're good at what they do. Don't get me wrong, but their thing is to figure out. Sometimes I think they figure out a little bit too much of what is. Not that they get it wrong. They're on, but
yeah,
they might see somebody with the same last name from the same town that's 100 years apart, and just because he was with somebody recently, that whole family history ran 100 years. It probably ran for about 20, and then it stopped for about 50, and then the grandkids got together. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah, that's the whole genealogical research and putting pieces together. Yeah, that's some other next level.
But they're very good at what they do. They really
Yeah,
are.
yeah, no, I've seen them. Yeah, for sure. I
They're
just don't think
excellent,
they're
actually.
they're just not active. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but
Well, it's not what we want to hear. We like, and I could understand that, because I don't like the old stuff. I'm talking about, when I talk old, I'm talking about 60s, 50s.
Mhm.
I just gotten into the 60s not too long ago, and the only reason is because I had family involved in the 60s mob here in the United States.
yeah,
So it kind of grew interest and just looked it up. But when I want to hear about stuff, I think I start from when the Sicilian faction started to die down. And I find the Gotti and everything after more interesting, 85 and
the
up, I
'80s.
guess,
Yeah, yeah,
even maybe a
yeah,
little bit earlier.
Yeah. So,
but that's just me as I was a fan at one time. That's why I guess I just took it to another level. But I was a fan and couldn't realize, and in a strange way, that's what I wanted.
just to emulate that life, right?
Well, yeah, I said it so many times. I'm coming out of Forest Hills movie theater, the Austin or something, and I'm seeing Goodfellas, and I said,
Yeah.
"Fuck!" I was mesmerized. What that movie did for me, what The Godfather did for others in back in '72.
Yeah.
And that was 18 years after. But at the same time, I was like, fuck, I don't need to act it out. I'm here, bro. I'm in Queens. At the school with a lot of these people's kids.
And you were kind of already on your way anyway at that point.
Yeah, it starts. Well, yeah, I was working in places. I was doing certain little stuff, little punk ass shit, but I was doing it. And I think after the murder of one of our friends, we all started having this dick waving contest who could take it to another level. And so that's when all hell broke loose, and that was that.
Wow. I think there's a question that somebody asked that I wanted to run by you. Chris Poggi, I think it's how you pronounce the name. I don't know if Frank wants to answer that, but how about this one? I've always wondered in jail, do you get regular 8 hours of sleep? Can you wake up whenever you want? Is it hard waking up after 5 hours to go to work?
I'm institutionalized even up to today. And that's because, we weren't going out drinking that night or doing anything. We were just fucking blocking up, sleeping or whatever. But I grew used to jail. I wasn't in the jails I was in, to be fair to the people that been in fucking horror shows and badass places, it was okay. I tell people, I kind of, I'm not gonna say I had fun, but I wasn't suffering.
Yeah.
And I was in fucking MDC for 2.5 years on my case.
Really? Were you in population, or did they have you?
Population? No. This is when I was in population. I was in there for 2.5 years, and 2 years and 3 months. You know how people are. No, it was more like whatever. And
I know. And this was what?
I had a ball. I had a ball. I mean, I was hanging out with fucking a lot of the guys. Was it bad? At the end of the day, fucking, life just was in the cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, imagine. I mean, you might be there.
Well,
now.
I mean, no, I fucking, if they would have gave me a fucking 15-year plea, and telling me what the fuck, but they offered me what? At one time it was 23 to 27, and then a 27 on a global, and then I get deported as well.
Oh wow, yeah.
But if they would, 15 would have definitely been a grabber, and deportation. Now, you would have did 12 and a half out of that.
And
I did almost 7 years anyway.
You'd be willing to leave?
Yeah, of course. It's a whole different. There's a time. What's the difference between 15 and 27? I should be in jail right now as we speak.
Wow.
And this is from 2002. That's a difference instead of
Yeah. Huh. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I wonder if, let's say you did 15 and no deportation. I wonder.
I don't know if they would have given me that. They said it. No, they said it because they were giving a lot of the 60 and 70-year-old guys 15 years, 20 years on double homicides and me, Robert Lino, was coming out pretty soon.
Yeah.
And Danny Mangelli, we had gotten our global pleas. And they said, why we don't give us that fucking deals, Even the 20, whatever, we come out 13 and a half. Yeah. And they said, no, because you three in particular are going to come out and do the same shit again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It must suck to get caught up with those guys, huh?
And they weren't wrong. Yeah, it was. It really was.
No, they weren't wrong. I don't think they were.
Yeah, they weren't wrong.
BK Sal Crook, what's going on, man? How are you? Thanks for being here. John Stevens says, holy shit, what did he get caught for?
Talking about you. I mean, the stuff they had me, well, murder was my biggest charge, but I also had conspiracy to murder. And then they would threaten another conspiracy to murders if I didn't take that. They hit me with a robbery and then drug distribution of drugs. They would hit me with everything.
Yeah. Wow.
Had a gambling, of course, charges, bookmaking charges. I had a lot of charges.
Damn. Danny Mangelli, Dirty Danny, was in my class in Diker Junior High School.
Dirty Danny, yeah. I like Danny. You know, we were in the same fam, but we weren't in the same cliques.
Chris Archula, I haven't really watched a lot about the Banana family till recently, starting to branch off. That's good, yeah. Banana, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Roro, 2 away from 100 likes. Yeah, come on, guys. What are you doing?
Hit the like.
Hit that like button. I know I don't really tell you to do it, but you know, I think we've had a good show tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna catch it. I'm gonna catch it on the replay. I didn't know this was going on.
Yeah, no, a lot of people don't get like notifications. I always hear nobody gets a thing or whatever.
You do have one of my the finest shows. That's one of my favorites for sure.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man.
You know, being a New Yorker, that's probably I'm biased towards that. Not only that, you put on good.
Thanks for reading those community posts. Thanks.
Oh, I do. Yeah, the last one was pretty good too about the Russian guy.
Yeah. I kind of just.
There's a lot of you guys out there that really. I like that. You stay away from the bullshit. And you have a lot of good shows.
Yeah.
In respect to the mob, I'm talking about mob people.
Yeah.
Mob Side Fire. What's her name? Lisa.
Yeah. Fireside Chat. Yeah.
Pretty good. I read a lot of her shit too.
Yeah. I want to start writing more. Like those things that I were putting up, those were like scripts for videos I already put out.
Right.
So I figured I'll just put them on community posts so people can like read them as like articles and fix them up. And you know, my grammar is not always the greatest, but I could spell. Sometimes a comma may or may not be there where it should. I don't fucking know. But
how many
I figured people would enjoy. Say it again.
How many subscribers?
Right now 25.1.
Really?
Yeah.
That's impressive. Good for you, bro.
Thanks, man. Yeah. YouTube is messing with me.
Stay away from the bullshit. Go figure, right?
Say it again.
You see, and you stay away from the bullshit. That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I could be higher if I was more active and I had some of my shit together, but I also work a full-time job and this and this. So I try my best to put out shit, but I definitely want to start writing more and maybe set up, I don't know, a blog. I mean, I really don't know. I just want to write, especially that Russian stuff. I covered a lot of that Brighton Beach stuff, Frank. I don't know how much you know about that stuff.
Not much.
Yeah, it's really interesting, man. I found it to be really interesting. And in this genre, I'm actually the only one that even touches on it, that talks about it. And the Brighton Beach guys that came in the 70s and 80s and crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. It just kind of gets overlooked. Some of those guys are nuts. And
oh yeah. I noticed that a lot of the Russians here in the United States are different. I mean, like the really freaking violent ones are back home. You know, ex-KGB guys.
Yeah.
And we had a few here, but I've been told that a lot of these guys are pencil pushers. You know, they're good with insurance scams and all that kind of crap.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they are
really good at it because they do that back home. They fuck the system forever.
Yeah, I mean, prolific extortionists. I mean, most of them like really heavy into neighborhood extortion. You know, their own people, robbing jewelry stores, pulling scams on jewelers. That was a big thing because you know what it is, Frank. And you know, people who are assholes give me shit for this time, but for the way I word things, so people say it's Russian organized crime, right? But people have an issue with it because it's Jews, right? They're Russian Jews, right? So people have an issue with calling them Russians because they're not Russians, they're Jews, right? So I've actually had this thing with some people a couple of times where they'll put a comment like quotation Russians, like you know, being a wise ass.
Yeah.
But yeah, so really what they are is Soviet Jews, the Brighton Beach movement and all these guys that came here. They're Soviet Jews who were allowed to come here. For anybody who doesn't know, there was a Soviet Jewry movement in the 70s and all
There
this. And
was.
yeah, so a lot of these guys that ended up here being pushed out of the USSR were former fucking gulag dudes, were former
Yeah.
murderers in Russia, like what Cuba did. Russia said, yeah, take them. They so for every, like, you know, however many good ones that came here, you had the bad ones that came here, and they quickly
Yeah,
set up shop.
anti-Semitism in Russia was huge, and
Yeah.
consider it. But at the same time, if you look at the old Soviet communist regime, there was a lot of Jews in there. As long as
Yeah.
because they were all atheists, they were by principle, you know,
Right, of course.
and a
Yeah.
lot of them even lost religion over. I mean, over time. I'll give you perfect examples. Albania, when their communist leader was in power, he they were practicing atheist as well, and a lot of Islam Muslims weren't allowed to practice, so a lot of them
Yeah.
lost their religion over that. What was it from 1917? Well, mostly after World War II. In their case, that's when they became
Yeah.
communist. All the way till they were one of the latest countries. Albania was to free from communism, but for 50 years they weren't practicing no religion.
Wow. Wow. It's funny that you said, I don't know if you meant to say it there. It's funny that you said they were practicing atheism, because I'm not religious. I'll openly say
It's
I'm
not
really not
right.
religious.
What are you practicing?
No.
Well,
No, I actually I'm someone who believes that many atheists are just as religious as the people that they dislike, because you know they're so staunch with the atheism. They love debating people, they love attacking people. I mean, there's atheist organizations that take out billboards in Times Square. I mean, if that's not fucking religious, I don't know what is. Like, you're actually wasting your time taking out a billboard to promote atheism, to promote this. You're arguing, you're having debates. I mean, it almost becomes like you're in a religion yourself.
that's a great point. You know, like our founding fathers, right?
Right.
Everything you see is on God we trust and this and that. But the truth of the matter was they were deists. Many of them,
Exactly. Yeah.
yes, many of them believe, yeah, you know, yeah, okay, is there is a God? It's not the one we're all talking about. Is there something out there? Yes, there is, but we can't prove it. But there is something that unites us all.
Right. General belief in a higher power, basically,
Exactly.
for those guys. And they all had different books. Everyone always likes to say, you know, Thomas Jefferson had a Quran. It's like, yeah, I'm sure he did. I mean, they probably
Right.
all.
They practiced. They didn't practice, but
Yeah.
they taught themselves about a lot of other
Yeah.
things.
You just have to believe in something. It's like when you want to be a Freemason, you got to believe in something, right? That's one of the prerequisites.
Right.
You got to
Right.
believe in a higher
Well,
power. It's kind of
is
the
it the
same.
mob? Isn't the mob? What do you call that? Anarchist.
The mob?
In theory.
Is it anarchist? I always thought it was very I don't know.
No, they are
Anarchist.
now, but in theory, they were anti-government.
Right. But within their organization, not so much.
It was their
Almost like
government.
communists, almost like autocrat, almost
Sort
like.
of, yes.
Yeah,
And now it's
exactly.
all. If you see now, they're all about fucking.
Oh, they're all America, right? Trumpy.
Yeah, it's all patriotic.
Yeah.
Which
they're
is
all
good, which is cool. I'm patriotic. Not wrong.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean,
No,
how principles get all fucking miscrewed.
right. Yeah. Well, what was it really with the guys back then? Was there a general around the guys you were with? I mean, probably not the younger guys. Maybe most of you didn't even give a shit. But some of the older guys you were around, were there like anti taking part in the so-called democracy, or they just kind of stayed out of it? Did they talk about politics? Was it a thing?
It seemed like no, they didn't. They couldn't give two shits. And when they did, they kind of got looked at in a little bit of a weird way. But I'll tell you what, like the Italians from Italy, they kind of frowned about somebody going to fight. I'm talking about the mob guys.
Okay.
where the Italian Americans did not. They were all for it. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't know when Italian Americans were regarded a minority. We were the largest minority to fight in World War II.
Wow.
You know, so yeah,
And
but
a
you
lot
had
of them,
some of that.
a
Like,
lot of
why
them
would you
didn't.
fucking go die? Why would you go fucking die for your for they ain't doing nothing for you? You had that kind of sentiment at one time.
Right. Yeah.
Vietnam didn't help either, though.
No, that was a shit show, huh?
Yeah, a lot of Italians fought in World War II. Though.
Yeah. First generations, or even before. What is the?
I don't know. First generations. I would imagine so. There's a lot of them did.
Those
Yeah.
would be the children, right? The children of the.
Yeah, I'm talking about Italian Americans, but not all Italian Americans were involved in the mob. You know.
Yeah. Who's the most famous? Probably Benny Eggs, right? He was probably the most famous mafia World War II veteran.
I don't know. I did read somewhere that he was, but I don't know if he's the most famous. Come to think of it.
No, of the mafia guys, I'm saying he's probably the most
Yeah.
well-known mob guy that was a World War II vet.
Yeah, I couldn't even come up with that if you would have asked me.
Benny Eggs Mangano.
But now I remember reading it though.
Yeah. Greg, yo, Brett and Sam. Who is Sam? I got some personal issues to take care of outside, so keep that link on hand if you really want to see some shit go down. All right, Greg. Well, I hope you don't get yourself into trouble, but I'm down to see it, I guess.
Some shit go down?
I don't know. John Stevens says organized anarchists. Yeah. Anarchists, capitalists.
Oh, okay.
Anarcho-capitalists.
Many fought 100%.
Many fought.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, many fought. Yeah, my grandfather was in World War II.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
he was.
That's. They're not gonna make those people like that anymore, huh?
No. I don't think so. Yeah, my grandfather was in World War II, and then he got out and he drove, like, for a lot of his life, he drove like famous people around. He was like a high-end limo driver or something. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, he ended up in a few movies because of that too. It's pretty funny.
Ah, good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a few flicks. Jonathan Demme. Bob Ward, what's going on? What's shaking? Nothing much, man. Nothing much. I'm gonna get out of here in a few minutes, but let me see if there's anything else. So what do you got going on, Frank? Any interviews lined up? Anything? Anyone asking you to come on? You there? I think we lost him. My dad's friend got out of World War II and robbed an ice cream.
But on TV, yes.
I didn't hear you. Well, you got cut off, so say what you said again. You fucking muted again. I can't hear you. You cut out. Is that right, Vegas Pete? That's interesting. She's a gangster too. I mean, runs in the family. Yeah, I hear you now. Say it again. You were there, now you're gone. Let's see if Frank gets on to say what he said, and then we'll head out of here. I stayed on longer than I imagined. Whoopsie. Frank, excuse me. I can't hear you. If you want, I'll remove you, and I'm gonna remove you. I'll drop the link again if you want to pop in. I'll give it a couple minutes to say what you got to say. And if not, everybody, that was a good show tonight. We hung out. We got to talk about a few interesting things. Let me see if I could. Oh, you back? I don't know. Maybe he's not back. Let me give a shout out to my man Tatone for the super chat earlier. My man DL for the super chat. Carmine S for the Cash App. Roro for the Cash App. You are the best. You guys are great. Nice surprise to see you live. Thank you, Bet Mulligan. Thank you, OG Ruby. Frank, I dropped the link again. If you want to come on, I'll give it a couple minutes. If not, I'll send you a message or something. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate Jeff Nadu for coming on. We got the update. Once again, if anybody's just catching up, this is what a former mob boss is doing on YouTube right now.
Tell you something, Jeff. I would like you to come down and see me because I'm going to bust your fucking mouth wide open. I'm going to put you on your fucking knees and I'm going to make you suck my dick.
Whoa.
It's always
Don't
gay
fuck
with you,
this
Sammy.
kid.
Why?
Stop, you shut your fucking mouth. Be a fucking man. You want to be a man? Don't fuck with him. Come and fuck with me. Come.
Jeff, a big target of Sammy the Bull. Big target. Great show, Brett. Salute. Thank you, Greg. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you chilling, buddy. I'll see you over in Hard Truths and Reviews probably soon. Yeah, Unique. I'm about to head out. Catch it from the beginning. Leave a comment if you can. I really appreciate it. Rodney Stubbert. This was a good show, Crime Spot. Thanks, Frank and Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, Rodney Stubbert. I really appreciate you hanging out. Much appreciated. Thank you to everybody that's been hanging out. Yeah, I'll text you. Just hit me up on Instagram, Greg. I'll text you whatever one you want. Whatever one you got. I got Rocky hanging out tonight for the potential boxing match. I think we lost Frank, but all good. All right, everybody. I'm gonna head out. Cam Doubleday, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everybody that is coming in for the first time. Some people said, I think before. I appreciate that. Adrian, yeah, Adrian. All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. Thank you, BK Sal Crook. I appreciate it. Thank you if you watch back. I think it was funny. I played some cool clips. And I think I'm going to head out, guys. I've been here for going on almost 3 hours, so I'm getting tired. Work in the morning. Appreciate everybody. Hi, Michelle Martinez. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you saying hello. Hope you are doing well. Proud servant of the Armed Forces of the United States of America, Michelle Martinez. I don't mean to embarrass you when I say that, but I always have to mention it. Salute to you, the great Michelle Martinez. Michelle Martinez is great, and she is doing something good. That sounded stupid. Anyways, Greg, have a good one. Michelle, if you want to watch the show back, if you're just joining us, check it out. It was funny. Jeff Nadu was here. He stopped by to hang out. Frank Fiorlito came after. Corruption Connection, take it easy, bro. Corruption, you got to come on one night. We gotta chat about the neighborhood or something. Just come and chill. Ruby, have a good night. Michelle Martinez, once again, have a great night to you and everybody else that's here, 60-plus people. We had about, 120 at some point. Thank you so much. And Sherry, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ruby, thanks again. All right, everybody, you guys have a good night. I'm going to put the my closing theme on, and then I'm going to have a good night. Roro, thank you again. Everybody, have a
Things are, from a couple of years on, things are real horrible here in New York, all over.
You're dealing with a lot of people that are maniacs today.
We're dealing with an individual who's very basic, who only knows two things, rip off or be ripped off.
Many of those who make good by being bad are nowhere to be seen these days.
I'd be afraid. Of course I'd be afraid. He's a sick guy. He'd kill anytime.
There isn't anything on earth that I will hide from or back up from.
People seem not to understand the close relationship between organized crime and street crime. And certainly in dealing with street crime in his area or any other kind of crime, the uniform patrol.
Provenzano, shot 4 times, his throat cut. Provenzano was allegedly connected.